off very brightly. The West Coast ballers, they've controlled the ball. They've hit the outside shots. They're hitting their free throws, as you can see as well. But this is a big game for the Posse Pacers are leading the series 2-1 following a win in Game 3 on Saturday night, which came right down to the buzzer. Posse Pacers getting that victory via the free throw line. So tonight, a win for the Pacers will see them crowned Division 1 champions. While, like you said, Gary, the Ballers need to win tonight to force a decisive Game 5.
Yes, it was a heartbreaker for the Ballers in Game 3. You know, they had the lead all through, and just a few seconds, they just had to hold on to the ball, and a crucial turnover led to the free throws for the Posse team.
So what we can tell you is that we had a pretty much prompt start here this evening, as we have seems to be a traveling violation. But what really hurt the Pacers in terms of the slow start that they've had this evening, is that a number of their players came in a bit late. A number of their players came in a bit late, Gary, and that sort of is part of the reason for their slow start, like McBride, the number 14, and some of their key players. But it's 29-19, a 10-point advantage for the Ballers, swinging around. Looking to find Tony Lee. Tony Lee did a good post-up, doesn't get that one to go in. And there's a reaching foul.
The slow start from the Posse team has nothing to do with the Ballers. The Ballers
Yes.
have taken advantage of that, and leading by 10 points right now is something that the coach of the Ballers team would be happy about. But now the defense have to start holding up. They're actually working hard on the offense. You could see Tony clear inside driving, but the ball just roll out from the rim.
Yeah, you really have to convert on these high percentage shots, as we have another foul. Looks like it's a blocking foul. Oh, it's actually an offensive foul, so a moving screen. Well picked up there by official Udi John.
Yeah, as you could see that the player for the Portsmouth team, he was moving. He was trying to screen for his play to go wrong him, but the play of the ball wasn't actually, reading that play. And the Ballers come out with that ball. See the offense for the Ballers. They have to continue attacking the basket regardless of the misses. But there we see an unforced turnover. Sharon passing that ball for Tony Lee, but the ball went out of play. So it's not what the Ballers would have liked in that possession.
Yeah, so good pass down low, but what a rejection that was. And there's another foul on the play. Let's see what is going to be the call from the official. Looks like it might be another offensive foul, loose ball foul. Well,
and it's against the same player. I think that's one of the players that attends the university in Portsmouth, the Canadian School of Medicine.
And he's one of the players who came in late.
Actually, so he's not really in tune with the speed of the game right now. So
does it look so? Good ball movement from the Ballers as they're trying to find open shot. That just a bit short, but good offensive rebound. Just couldn't hold on to that. And turnover, here comes the Pacers the other way.
Very good contest.
And to be Pacers basketball.
But you see the Posse defense, they are playing a very aggressive defense. They're using the zone quite well in rotation. And you could see the last possession for the Ballers. While the offense with the ball was moving, but they never had a settled moment where they could actually shoot the ball.
Yeah, that's quite right. And good hands from the Ballers forcing the turnover is Vidal coming the other way. And good end-to-end basketball from the Ballers.
Yeah, Sharon Vidal is one of the players who's very strong with the left hand, and you could see clearly he shielded the ball and executed that fast break layup easily.
Well, the rebounding for the Pacers seems to be their weak point so far this evening. Can't seem to get a foothold on the boards.
As you know, once you are very dominant on the boards, most likely your team will be positioned to win the game.
Yeah, rebounds win matches. Free throws also win matches, Gary.
We've seen a lot of passes being intercepted, tip whether the ballers regain possession or they actually force the reset of the offense by the posse. But what is happening here right now is the ballers team, they're very aggressive on defense, hands in terms of getting position and intercepting the ball, or just creating these issues for the posse team.
Yeah. So we have a timeout on the floor. 5 minutes, just under 6 minutes left in the first half. It's 31-19 in favor of the ballers. We'll be right back.
Yeah, it's an important thing that you maintain a lineup that can create that cohesiveness, can actually get your team in a position where they can win the game. But I'm not sure of the strategy, because you look at the first 3 games, the coach would have realized something, and probably she's mixing up, trying to see which is the best rotation. But there's about 3 players who are always on the court. Sharon, and I think Sharon. Right.
Yeah, Sharon. Yeah, Sharon. And Dean to some extent.
But Dean is not here this evening.
Another strong drive there from Vidal. Doesn't convert, to Posse pushing the other way.
There's a bit of contact on that drive. But again, you see the defense by the ballers, forcing a turnover now. And that's what the ballers have been doing in the last 5 minutes. They have created, kind of close up on the lane and causing the Posse team to overpass.
Yeah, the defensive rotations have been spot on from the ballers team. Question is, can they maintain that sort of intensity throughout the night? This one is way off the mark. So Rudet gets the rebound. Oh, he did quite well to avoid the traveling there, Gary.
It looked like a travel indeed. You see a lot of contact here. And the Nigel seems to be, the pressure, scoreboard pressure, we say. So seeing that his team have not really executed in the last couple of possessions, I think he actually forced that drive in.
Yeah, trying to create something. I think you just have to back your instincts, back your game, trust your teammates, and continue doing what you've been doing throughout the season. And eventually the shots are going to fall in.
I don't think that the Posse team is doing anything wrong on offense when you look at the way the ball is moving around. But what is the West Coast Ballers team, the defense has been very aggressive, and they almost plays without a center, because the movement by the Posse team forces them to kind of play almost man-to-man, but it looks like a mixed sort of defensive scheme that they're using.
Well, one way to get back onto the scoreboard is to make your free throws, and George misses both. And here comes Vidal the other way for the Ballers. Driving, good handoff there, is blocked, but no, got some arm contact on the arm. And it'll be 2 free throws coming up for the Ballers.
Gavin, I'm very impressed with Sharon's play. Sharon is one of the players that plays like there's nothing bothering him. He plays with a calm, a very thought process of basketball. He actually look at around the court to see where his players at, and he drives with a purpose.
And Gary, I want to add to your point. Sharon Vidal was the only Division 1 player that was called up for national trials. So that just says a lot as to how he has played throughout the season and the impact that he's had on his team.
I think when you look at him as a multi-athlete, he plays volleyball as well. So probably the training mechanism from the volleyball is leading to his basketball game, creating that sort of awareness in terms of how to play with his team.
It's like he's seeing the game at a different speed from everyone else. Again, another costly turnover from the Posse Pacers. Sharon Vidal. Wide open three. Oh, in and out. That one is halfway in, Gary.
Yeah, the free is not falling for the ballers team. And I think that although they're up, I don't think that they should take it for granted. I think they should continue attacking the rim and put the Posse team on the back foot and keep scoring.
Yeah, because that's what worked for them to start off this game. They seem to have kind of gone away from it. Strong drive now from George and put up the shot there. It will be fouled. That's actually Troy Brooks, my apologies. And he'll head to the line for two.
Although the foul was called on Jail John, but once he was stopped into the game, his presence in the center he have rebounds, he has defended. On this time, actually, he fall, but he has been very instrumental in terms of that second, third rotation for the ballers team.
He has really been a big, tall, imposing guy, sort of what you call the rim protector. Although the way that the Pacers have been playing on offense, it sort of keeps him away from the basket at times. But he still did a good job in rotating.
The coach, as earlier said, that the use of the bench is something that probably is worrying for the fans, but the coach knows what she's doing. And Jahil not being one of the main players, but he's giving the minutes that the coach wants this evening.
And he's setting some solid screens as well. There's another reach-in foul. Might be heading to the line for two. Let's see what official Udi John says. Okay, side ball.
Yeah, it's a bit of contact there. The game has been very physical. You can see that the players are playing, and it's all about the Posse. They want to close it up this evening, while the ballers they want to extend the series to game 5. They're up by 11 right now. So the referee is signaling for side ball. I thought it was shooting foul, but apparently it's a side ball.
Yeah, I thought that he was on his way up as well, but looks like the foul was on the ground. But actually they're in the bonus, so it will be shooting two.
The scoring has slowed down a bit for the ballers team. They had 26 points in the first quarter, and right now they score just 32. So they have only scored 6 points in like 6 minutes.
And it's not a question of really that the defense has been outstanding from the Pacers. The ballers have really missed a lot of easy shots, some wide open shots as well. Well, that's an air ball, but I think there was a lane violation.
Yes, McBride stepped in a bit early. He realized that the referee was just waiting for the player to shoot the ball. And based on that result, well, he missed it, so the referee had to call to shoot one shot because of the violation.
Vidal gets another opportunity and punishes them.
It's 34-21.
Brooks over to Roulette, and the slippery hands, loses out but retains possession. Wide open shot for Singh. Singh has been struggling so far, Gary.
Again, the closeout by Jahil was key. Jahil length and his ability to cover as much ground create that difficulty for him.
Well, Sharon Vidal is playing like a center dunk, though but just didn't get the 2 points on that occasion.
I think he was a bit too deep under the rim, so it was kind of difficult for him to score that layup, that putback.
George is fouled and fouled by
Jahil.
I think that's what, number 2 or number 3?
Well, I'm not sure how many he had, but in past 2 minutes he have, committed 2 fouls.
Yeah. Can really see a change being made as the ballers are bringing in Delton, Eugene.
That's one of the players that has been key for the ballers over the years. I think the ballers have been part of the DAB in the past 3 years. Since the basketball has resumed after Maria, they have been constant, doing well in the regular season. And I think this is the best showing for them since they have been in the league.
Yeah, I think regular season champions. I think they went undefeated through the season. And they were finalists last year, but they came up a bit short. The year before, I think they made it to the semifinals, came up a bit short again. This year, well, they're down in a crucial game. If they lose tonight, they will come up short, you would say, for the 3rd year in a row.
Yeah, but Coach Curlin she's one of the calm coaches. She would give instructions, you would barely hear her, but what is important is that the players have been listening to her, and she has commanded that respect from her team, and they're responding. The results has been showing. What she wants now is a championship, and Sherlon Vidal is trying to give it to her.
Yes, strong drive there from Sherlon Vidal, but as a bit disappointed there with Dyer. That's Denari Dyer, the number 15 for the West Coast Ballers. He's the tallest guy on the court, so he has to make it a point of duty to find himself sort of protecting, that rim area there, and for Vidal to get that drive in, that lane that he got a while ago. That was a bit poor defense of the Pacers.
Yeah, I think the rotation has to come. A very good screen here by Nigel. Free enough for McBride to drive in.
Oh, strong reverse layup there from McBride. I think it's his first bucket of the evening. If he can get going, then we can see a change in momentum for the Posse Pacers.
Yeah, and his defense right now is going to be key. Almost forcing a turnover, and indeed force a turnover here on Sharon.
Well, you can see that turnover there. There's forcing the West Coast Ballers to take a timeout. Coach Curlin looked not happy with what's going on right now. So taking another quick break. We'll be right back. All right, so 5 on the court for the West Coast Ballers. Delton Charles. There's also Gibson Frederick, Sharon Vidal, and back on the way, loose ball, still with it. Singh passes out, another shot miss, but good rebound by Dyer. But he's stripped going up by Delton Charles.
Yeah, Dyer, I think he had that ball too low. He got that ball pretty high. He should just go back up the ball.
You can see quite an appreciative crowd building up here at the Massac Indoor Facility. This, of course, is game 1.
Good pass there by there was no need to slap the ball. Just simple put it to the basket.
A bit of scramble hustle play, and the Ballers have won it back. Vidal. And Vidal absorbs the contact there from Singh. I think that's another foul on Singh.
Yeah, from the time Vidal got that ball from above the front line, there was only one thing he was thinking, was driving to the rim. There were 3 defenders back there, but based on how the defenders were positioned, clearly you could see that Vidal was going right, then going back left, and he actually got the foul called.
I think Vidal is determined tonight to attack the basket at all costs. He's playing quite fearless basketball. If you want to compare him to someone in the NBA, you'd probably say like a Ja Morant or even Allen Iverson back in the day. That sort of small guy, fearless basketball.
Yeah, but right now we need Sharon to be a Stephen Curry on the free throw line, being very efficient, because he's getting the calls his way.
Yes, but not making them. So we have a loose ball foul. I think it's going to go against the West Coast Ballers.
Yeah, the player was just moving on than if the player was rebounding the ball for the posse. So McBride, very aggressive on defense and also on the boards. And he actually leads the offense as well. So he seems to be one of the key players for the Portsmouth team.
Yes, along with Tyler Rudette as well, who's had a very good season.
But I'm not sure what Rudette has done so far. You know, Rudette is one of the sharp shooters. And if you look at the statistics for the season, I think in the playoffs, sorry, he's the leading scorer for the Portsmouth team at, I think, about 16 points per game.
Well, he hasn't fired yet, and the Pacers will want him to fire because it's an 11-point advantage for the West Coast Ballers. Make it 10 as they look to try and force a fifth and decisive Game 5.
So what we're seeing from the Portsmouth team so far, they are scoring on the free throws. Miss 1-2, but based on the percentage, they have been scoring.
So winding down the final seconds of this first half. Again, Vidal.
A lot of contact driving to the rim.
A lot of contact, but here comes the Pacers the other way. And muscles that one through.
Young Nigel, if you look at Nigel in the national secondary school league, he had been one of the players scoring at will, and he showed his strength there.
Forces a turnover there and a foul as well, and a careless loose ball foul. Because what that means is it's going to send the Posse Pacers to the line again for free throws.
Right, and they're in the bonus. I don't think that the player was actually thinking. He probably wanted to stop the play, not realizing that his team was already over the foul limit, giving the Posse team easy 2 points, opportunity for 2 points on the line.
So with 3.7 seconds left in the first half, and the Posse Pacers, they've cut the lead down into single digits.
And they have been doing it from the free throw line. I believe what is happening now, the Ballers team, probably it's a bit of tired legs because the discipline in terms of the defense isn't there. The past couple of possessions, they have been fouling quite easily.
Just a few seconds to go dribbling it down. I think that will pretty much sum up things. That brings us to the end of the first half. 36-29, a 7-point lead for the West Coast Ballers. Gary, quick comments from you, and then we head to the halftime break.
Yeah, what we're seeing in the first half from both teams, that the Posse team, they're not playing at the intensity in terms of the offense as the Ballers playing. But what Sharon has to do in the second half is to execute on the drives. He's getting to the rim, he's getting the opportunity to score, but he's not executing on it. Unlike McBride drive to the rim, he's getting the foul call, and he's scoring the free throws. So the second half is going to play out to be the team who can actually execute better on the free throw line and to actually be disciplined on defense. I think from that aspect, if they can do that, any team can do that, they'll be victorious this evening.
All right, so will we have a Game 5 or will we have celebrations on the court tonight? We'll find out in the next 20 minutes of gameplay, but we'll be back after the halftime break. All right, back with second half action. Is do or die time for the West Coast Ballers, or will the Posse Pacers be celebrating the championship tonight? Game 4, second half action. It's 36-29. Good defense there. Swinging across George, and that nails the bucket. And just like that, the lead, which was once double digits, is down to just 5.
Shot here by Tony Lee.
It's a big basket from Tony Lee, but I'm sure that the Posse Pacers would have no problem with Lee shooting these sort of contested shots.
Yeah, Tony's not known for these long shots, but he's one of the players that once he set his mind to score, to shoot, he will do it.
Rudette, and lots of contact, no foul. Dyer with the strong rebound. Oh, lovely handoff there. Good basketball. What seems to have gone on there? Let's see. Seems to be some confusion.
It seems like the players may have heard the whistle blown by referee Julian. But there's a consultation between Julian and Laville.
Well, I think the basket's going to count, so it's 39-33.
Again, Gavin, it's always good to play to the whistle, so the players haven't got to think about a possible contact, but they have to hear the whistle blow.
Vidal and driving strong, attacking that basket, but just missing again on the layup. Strong offensive rebound. Charles again. Good contest there from Dyer. Dyer, and I think Dyer is going to be called for the foul, is it? Let's see. It's between Dyer and Brooks, and the foul goes to Brooks.
Yeah, you see there was a lot of contact here on that play, and the bench for the West Coast Ballers saw that contact from way down on the other side of the court. So what we have to see now is Lee, executing on the free throws.
Tony Lee, a real veteran in this game, would have played for the Canefield Tigers yesteryear.
Canefield Tigers, one of the teams who dominated D1 basketball, Gavin.
Oh, strong offensive rebound. So once again, the West Coast Ballers getting that second chance opportunity.
But the free throws, they have to think about the free throws, because getting the fouls and getting to the rim again. Sharon Vidal driving to the rim, getting that contact here, but missing the layup.
Yeah, you could hear that slap from a mile away. So he'll head to the line for 2, but he hasn't been very efficient from the line. So may this probably work out in the favor of the Pacers.
Yeah, what Sharon has been doing is that he has been using his ability to jump, to get to the rim, his speed, his strength. But his last execution in terms of getting that ball into the basket and getting an easy 2 for his team has not been one of the advantage point for him this evening. Here we see an air ball on his first attempt.
Yeah, and that's a bit disappointing there. And you can see Vidal not happy with himself at all.
Yeah, I think he's working a bit, so, probably a bit of tiredness. Although we just resumed the second half, but that could contribute to that.
And missed both of them, got the offensive rebound and missed the putback as well.
A lot of contact from behind here, over the back, and the Dalton only can shake his head and get back on defense. But it's a turnover by the West Coast Ballers, Gavin.
McBride thought about the 3, seeing in the corners. That looks short.
A very good outlet pass by Tony Lee.
Well, that's a bit strange there from Jamal Panthe.
I'm not sure what happened with Jamal on that point. Yeah, I'm not sure if he has. I don't think he has a lot of fouls. I'm not sure.
Was it maybe a case of brain fog or something? I'm wondering what happened.
Well, what he did is that he tried to make up on offense, tried to dish that ball in the interior, but the defense from the Ballers was there present. And we have an opportunity for deep 2-pointer.
Oh, McBride missed an easy one there. And Singh again with another foul, and that could be his 4th foul of the evening.
Yeah, they should be Singh 4th foul. And again, you see Dalton Charles being, present for the rebound. And since Dalton has been in the game, he has been grabbing crucial rebounds for his team. So Singh has committed his 3rd foul. The Posse team cannot be in foul trouble. The players have to be in a position to defend. And they have to defend there, but Tony Lee driving to the rim. Very strong, scoring and easy too.
Yeah, you see, because with Dyer out of the game now, it means it's easy pickings for the West Coast ballers that they can just dump that ball into the post. So reaching foul there, which should send George to the line.
Yeah, Tony Lee realized that he was a bit too deep. He was way down in the restricted area, so he knew that he had to reach in to score that basket.
Well, Gary, we are joined by the president of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Donnie Robinson. First of all, Donnie, good night. Welcome to the broadcast. Happy times for the DABA Grand Finals.
Well, yes, good night, gentlemen, and thanks for having me as usual. But yeah, it's good to see basketball back, good little spirit, keenly contested games in the finals. So I think tonight is not going to be any different. The games, I don't think nobody want to go home tonight, so it should be contested keenly tonight.
Yeah, I think the neutral fans are praying for victory from the ballers so we can come back again on Saturday night for a Game 5 thriller. But Donnie, your overall assessments of the season so far, I know we had a bit of start and stop because of the various international competitions, but how would you assess 2026 for the DABA?
I think from a basketball standpoint, it was a successful season in terms of the quality of basketball, the different teams that emerged. You saw some of the non-traditional teams emerging in playoffs and finals, so that bodes well for basketball. I think the disappointing part has been the crowd participation. In the playoffs that picked up a bit, but normally we would expect it to be a little thicker crowd. But again, it's new teams in the rankings now. So, but overall, I think it's been a good season.
All right, and it's been a big season internationally, or I should say nationally, for the basketball team. First time ever Dominica participated at a FIBA senior tournament. How pleasing was that for you to see Dominica in that sort of position in that FIBA tournament?
I think it goes well for basketball, and personally, I think it's one of the things you play for and look forward to is giving the athletes an opportunity to expose their talent and actually understand the level at which they're playing. So overall, it's always exciting to have tournaments to play towards and to look forward to. So this year was a good stepping stone, and we hope we can build on that moving forward.
I was about to ask you that because after so much success stories for 2026, the next question is, how do you build on that for next year, 2027?
Well, 2026 is not over. We still have most likely 2 tournaments that the national team might participate in. We're still looking at the Windward Islands tournament towards the end of the year. And there's a French invitational tournament that we're hoping to host sometime in October. So that will give us more reason to keep the national team in training and building up to next year. And obviously the OECS, there's an OECS tournament on the 23 that's going to be there around for a while. And now we have fixed tournaments on the calendar that we can look forward to. So I think it can only get better moving forward.
All right, Donnie, final question for you guys. I know I don't want to take you away from the game for too long, but in terms of basketball development at the grassroots level for coaches, referees, and whatnot, what are some of the plans the DABA might have in store for us?
So right now, we had one referees session this year so far, and we are planning to get FIBA on board every year to have an annual officials session on island. Last year we had something like 12 or so participants, and we're hoping to build on that. And as we speak, we have 4 coaches attending a 6-month-long training session, certification course that's going to last until May next year. So we have 4 coaches taking part in that. So we are building on that, but the hindrance remains the club structure and having teams that have coaches registered so we can actually pick from those. But I think we made a good start with 4. Hopefully before the next season we'll have at least 4 certified coaches on board. All
right. Well, Donnie, thank you very much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
All right. That was the president of the DABA, Donnie Robinson. And Gary, I think it's fair to say that 2026 was a pretty good year for basketball in terms of what we saw, the number of teams which came back into the game. And just look at the finals, testament of it. Posse Pacers, first time in the finals.
Yeah, I think the president should be proud of his team. And again, one of the major achievements for them is participating in the FIBA tournament.
And not just participating, but even winning a game as well.
Yeah, so this can filter well for the domestic circuit in terms of the players getting interest, and the finals here you can see very good basketball being played. You can see that the team is actually putting the work. Tony is going to the rim strong again. You know, the layup has to be one of the key components for them to win this evening.
Roulette's trying to impose himself in this game, hasn't really done so. looked like a travel. George got away with it. George with a strong offensive rebound. Gets it.
Yeah, I think George is one of the players who actually testing that zero step. And as a referee, you have to really look closer to see whether he's actually making a foot step or just maximizing on that zero step.
I think that might be a kickball violation.
As well picked up by referee Julian.
And we have two of the most experienced officials on tonight, Judy John and Harold Julian. So there's young Austin coming through the ranks. So we heard President Robinson talk about officiating. And there are a number of young guys who are coming through the ranks as well. So the future for officiating looks quite bright as well, Gary.
Yeah, indeed. And Austin being one of the young players in the finals, I think this can really motivate him.
Well, George seems to be running the offense for the Pacers as he's fouled from behind there by Charles. He'll head to the line for two.
Yeah, but George playing, initiating the offense. It's a bit slower than McBride. And I think what he's doing is that he's giving the ballers team another really dimension to look at in terms of the offense. Because when McBride have the ball, the defense has to focus on McBride.
Yes. I'm just disappointed that Tyler Rudet hasn't really stamped his authority in this match yet. He's really struggled to get going.
Tyler Rudet is one of the sharpshooters outside from the three-point line. And I think the defense by the ballers after the first game when Tyler was just shooting this ball lights out, they have really adjusted. Although he has scored some frees after that. But this evening you can clearly see that he's not really into his element in terms of scoring or shooting the frees.
Maybe you can say credit to the West Coast ballers and the adjustments that they would have made defensively to sort of try and make life a bit more difficult for Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, the President Don Robinson mentioned about coaching certification, and looking at what Curly Luke has been doing, I think he would be proud that, she's showing a coaching pedigree.
Wide open shot there off the mark.
But the rebounding by the ballers will lead to an opportunity for fast break point, but Sharon is missing.
I think he just lost a handle on the way up. There's George. Troy Brooks. Rudet misses. And that should be an easy layup for Vidal, who was cherry picking.
Yeah, the crowd realizing that Sharon has missed just a few layups. I would say a few just to give him credit because he's working hard. But what, Gavin, you've seen is the rebounding by the ballers team, and it leaks out for a fast break opportunity.
Run back on defense. Kazimi. Vidal for three. Money!
And this is what a player would feel confident about. One dribble, step back, getting the defender back pedaling, sort of, and getting that opportunity to extend the lead further. 51-36, Gavin, is a 15-point lead.
So the ballers are on a run, and here's Vidal again. Should be an easy picking. A little bit of showboating there from Sharon Vidal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was that, Gavin, but it was effective. The fact that he scored the basket, laughing his way back. And what you like to say about him playing tonight is that he's missing the basket, but he's still laughing. He's enjoying the game, and that's key to recovering.
Nigel George trying to put an end to that run from the Pacers, from the ballers. Brooks misses. Should be Pacers basketball.
And we see very good defense by Sharon, and he's doing everything. Good steal here by the ballers team.
So the ballers just punishing the Pacers in transition. That's the third consecutive layup, and it's a timeout on the floor from the Posse Pacers.
Well, Sharon scored 3 layups and a 3-pointer, Gavin. So in a space of about a minute and a half or so, or 2 minutes, he has scored all his points. 9 points, Gavin?
Yes. Just like that, it's 55-36. The ballers are running away with game 4. We'll be back. There's a timeout on the floor. Back here in the third quarter, 4 minutes, 15 seconds left, but it's been a big run from the West Coast Ballers.
And that run, Gavin, was credited to the rebounding, because what you have is Sheldon Vidal being a rebounder. And Sheldon, if you remember Sheldon, he has been one of the more potent offensive players, but he is playing a different role for this West Coast Ballers team.
But McBride is back for the Posse Pacers. Can they make one last run? There's a blocking foul.
The speed of Brooks, Gavin. He had that first step on the defender, and when he took the first step, the defender was basically looking back. He had to reach and foul him.
I was wondering, where did he go? Where did he go? A side ball is the call.
That's a good call by the referee. And the Pacers team did more of that. They need to pressure the defense, play aggressive offense, because what they've been doing is that they are playing the offense but not aggressive enough, getting to the rim and pushing back the Ballers team.
But to Rudet for three. Vidal looking to go coast to coast and just misses there, but Casimir gets the rebound.
Yeah, you see, although Troy was out of position, but what Troy did is that he pushed him further left. And Gavin, I thought Sharon is a right-hander, but he's actually, I thought he's a left-hander, but he's a right-hander.
It looks like he can use both. It's McBride. McBride guilty of the travel.
This was a very close one, because
Very
the
close
dribble
one.
stopped, but the referee has a better angle, being closer to the ball, Gavin, and
You can see the Portsmouth supporters just go a bit mute.
I think Sheldon wanted to pass that ball before he actually held it.
And Troy Brooks is fouled. Troy Brooks head to the line for two.
I think you call it a professional foul here, Gavin, because the defender realized that Brooks had the opportunity, driving hard to the rim. He held one of his hands and created a difficult opportunity for him.
So it sends Troy Brooks to the line for two free throws. As the Posse Pacers look to try to cut back into the lead. Misses the first attempt. Quick reminder, this is game one of two tonight. As we have coming up right after this one, the 767 Sports Club Happy Dominators. They will meet the Dr. Daru Precious Sports Club Falcons in game 4 of their series. Falcons are leading 2-1, so Falcons could be crowned champions tonight if a win.
Yeah, and we see Sharon Vidal leading the fast break, Gavin. Coast to coast with his left hand, he misses this one again.
But Sharon has been getting these sort of lanes, these opportunities. Just needs to be a bit more efficient finishing around the basket at times. And then you give away a 3-point.
And McBride is one of the players that can score from anywhere on the court, and he showed that once you give him opportunity, open, he will score. And there we have a turnover.
Troy Brooks finds Rudet. Singh misses. Rudet with the offensive rebound. But a lot of hands keep it through. It's Harry. Harry's fouled.
And Harry driving to the rim, Gavin. He didn't go for the basket. He actually went for the contact.
Yes. Smart basketball play.
It is smart, Gavin, because when you look at the Portsmouth team, they're under the pressure, and the more fouls you can have called against their players, is the easier the offense is going to be for the ballers, because the defense is going to be playing instead of conservative.
So it's the West Coast Ballers at the line. Makes the first.
I think Coach Curlin must have said something to the players, because they are playing a different offense in this third quarter.
Yeah, they've been a lot more clinical. And that makes the second as well. The lead is 19.
It's still within reach for the Portsmouth team. It looks like traveling here, Gavin. The player went up, came back down.
It's Vidal. And Vidal just pulling things back.
That's a big shot here, Gavin.
There's Troy Brooks. Brooks strong to the basket.
And what Troy has done is that he have given Sharon a piece of his medicine in terms of the driving.
Pacers will come away with it. Rudett for three. Nigel George gets the offensive. They might have gotten away for travel.
Traveling, Gavin. And referee missed that traveling.
But it's Nigel George to the line.
As Gavin, you realize that what Nigel is trying to do is to get to the rim, but he's holding the dribble quite early and he's actually giving the ballers, players an opportunity to recover and defense. I think this was a very good defensive stance by the ballers. What happened there is that the player made extra steps and creating that opportunity for him to get to the line.
Yeah, and the ballers are calling for time. I think Coach Curley looked just not too happy with that little passage of play. So the ballers are going to talk things over. We have a timeout on the floor. It's 59-42. We'll be right back. Back with the action here in the third quarter. The line, 2 free throws.
This has been a better ending of the third quarter for the Pacers team. They're making a slight run. I mean, the ballers, they're still scoring, but they believe that they could score much more.
Well, what the Pacers will surely be looking to do, Gary, is to end the third quarter on a strong note. Right now, the lead is just about 16-17, but if they can sort of bring it down to at least 10 before the end of the quarter, they'll be pretty satisfied with themselves.
And the free throw shooting has been one of the key points for the Portsmouth team. Once they get to the line, they're executing on the free throw. It's a lot of contact here, Gavin, on the defense.
Swinging across. Vidal, McBride, and good defense there from McBride. Forces a wild attempt there from Vidal.
Yeah, I don't think that the ballers planned that sort of offense that they were doing. I think a lot of dribble at the top of the key. There's no movement by the players, and giving the Portsmouth the easy opportunity to get that ball.
Troy Brooks over to Nigel George. Oh, and slams it down. It's Dyer. And George almost got a steal on the end.
Yes, Gavin, you asked for Dyer to show up, and Dyer showed you that once he has an open lane and he can get to the rim, he can dunk that ball easily.
And that's the sort of plays that can switch this high energy plays. Vidal.
Very good passing here, Gavin. Even better offense by Sharon.
Yeah, no questions there. That was a good defensive stand there from the Posse Pacers, but even better offense from Sharon Vidal.
Yeah, Sharon, I just spoke to him during the timeout there, and he says the finals, and missing it and scoring it is part of the game.
Well, Dyer. Dunk to Rudett, and Rudett for turnover. Casimir coming the other way. Dyer's giving chase. Dyer won't catch him.
And Kazim is one of the players, once he's on a fast break, he has the ability to protect the ball and use his ability to get a strong first step and get the defender behind him.
Thought about the free, George. Over to Brooks. Brooks to the wild layup. But there's a late whistle on the play.
I think it's the right call, Gavin, because there was contact when he go the underarm layup There was contact. The referee probably was letting it go to try to score it, but then he realized he missed it and he gave him that call. A very good call by referee Julian.
What it does mean, however, is that for the second consecutive quarter, Gary, the ballers have been guilty of a foul late in the shot clock or late towards the end of the quarter. Just giving the players an opportunity to get some points on the board if the clock stopped.
All right, and points on the board ending a quarter is the confidence built for approaching the next quarter. And the last 10 minutes of the game is going to be a crucial period for both teams.
And Brooks makes move. So just under a second to go. Gets the steal, McBride. And that won't count. That's the end of the third quarter.
I find that was a very long 1.3 seconds, Gavin.
63-48. We'll have a 2-minute break. And we'll be back with the fourth quarter here at the Massac Indoor Facility. Well, 10 minutes to decide whether we will have champagne on the court or whether we will have a fifth and decisive game 5 on Saturday. The West Coast Ballers are leading 63-48. It's do or die right now. Welcome back. Gavin Richards alongside Gary Benjamin.
And this is not the way Coach Cullen would have wanted the quarter to start with a turnover, because remember what we had in the last quarter. There was a foul and the player scoring his 2 free throws.
Could be an opportunity for a swing, and it is. It's a 5-point swing, just like that.
And as they always say, hands down, man down. So Sharon wasn't playing as a strong defense there, giving Nigel an open opportunity for a three-pointer.
Do the Posse Pacers have one last run in them? Tyler. Nigel George. Lots of contact. George is fouled.
A very well executed fast break here by the Posse team, using the opportunity to get Nigel to the rim to score uncontested. Too, as we say, no defender at the free throw line.
What I've noticed about Nigel George, and I'm hoping that the West Coast Ballers will sort of make that adjustment, he seems to utilize that sort of Euro step very efficiently and sort of baits the defenders into committing themselves too early.
All right, and he used Euro step plus he used a pause. So he actually has 2 dimensions to that drive. And it's very effective for him.
George makes a second. And just like that, what was once almost a 20-point lead is down to 11.
Force Coach Cullen to make a substitution here.
Big block from Dyer. And Rudet comes away with the loose ball.
But very good still by Tony Lee.
Ooh, that's an amazing play there from Kazemi.
Remember Kazemi during the interview said that game 4 is what they're going to play hard and force a game 5.
Dyer. Rudet for 3. Tony Lee gets the rebound.
A good closeout defense by Dalton Charles.
Kazemi again.
And what Kazemi has is that reverse layup. He sort of drive to the left and kind of over the back, kind of on the side. Funny looking sort of opportunity to score, but he scores very effective.
Troy Brooks just missed on the acrobatics. But just like that, the Ballers have brought back up the lead. And Vidal is fouled. Vidal to the line for 2.
While we may say that's a good fall by Nigel. Nigel knew that Sharon has been missing on the free throw line. So if he can miss both free throws, then Nigel would say that that's a very good defensive stop.
Vidal misses the first. He's really been poor at the line. If there's one negative that we can say about his game tonight, has been his free throw shooting.
Yeah, he has played a very well organized game, putting his team in a position to win. But the coach will want him to sink his free throws. But he has to defend. And you see, he almost got a steal here.
Brooks is trapped. Brooks will do well to get it out, yes. Across to George. George steps through, lots of contact, gets it to fall.
I think that's a good call by the referee because George leaned into the cylinder of the defensive player. Touch and go, Gavin, but it's very good play by both teams.
Yeah, good basketball. Kazemi has taken over the 4th quarter.
And they say when you're the captain has to show up, and Kazemi he's not holding back. Once he has that ball in his hand, he knows his range and he's attempting.
McBride is looking to answer. Pass. Had to be Kazemi, easy pickings.
Although it was Kazemi and Sharon there for the fast break, Sharon probably was waiting for that pass back from Kazemi, but he wanted to score.
Just like that, the lead has gone to 19, is it? 18. McBride with the tough fadeaway.
Again, Gavin, a lot of contact on interior. What you can give the referees credit for is they have been consistent. Very good pass by Kazemi, Gavin.
Yeah, Kazemi has come alive in the 4th quarter.
I think Tony got at the dribble a bit too early, forcing that layup.
Troy Brooks.
David George is one of these players that seems to be playing with a very good head on his shoulder.
Good steal.
Very well done by Dalton Charles.
Vidal coming the other way. Vidal strong and Vidal converts.
Hey, Gavin, watch the confidence that Vidal using getting back on defense. And Kazemi is all over the court here, almost intercepting that pass.
Yeah, definitely. This 4th quarter has really been all about Kazemi. As the Pacers making some changes. 58-74. And we have just about 6 minutes left in the quarter.
It's the 4th quarter, Gavin. Let's remind us the 4th quarter.
Singh for 3. In and out. That one looked halfway.
It was indeed. Again,
Singh gets the steal.
Good defense.
And Singh is whacked by Delton Charles.
I think Gavin, the coach might say ball on hand, this ball. It looked like a lot of contact here on the body. It looks like a good block, Gavin. When you look at it, he actually hit the hand, holding the ball.
I think what might have undone Charles was the wind-up. That sort of wind-up thing, you know, anytime you sort of do that, and then you have this sort of minimal contact in the end, it's still, because of the wind-up, might have just baited the officials into that call.
Yeah, but it was a very good defensive attempt by Dalton Charles, Gavin. And that looked close to being a lane violation by the shooter because the ball didn't strike the rim and Singh was already almost stepping over.
So it's a 15-point game. Oh, that's an air ball. And that's well short. The question is now, Gary, do the Posse Pacers have one last run in them?
I mean, the way the game is going right now, when you look at the way the ballers team playing, Gavin. But again, there's an unforced turnover there.
Well, lots of contact there. Referee says no. McBride for three. And this game, bang!
There we see the bench for the ballers team. They are still reeling over that contact, but Sharon Vidal is not letting that distract him. And once he can keep scoring and the defense can minimize the Pacers scoring, I think we'll see a game 5 on Saturday.
McBride just hit a big three-pointer. It's over to George. George for three. That's a bit short, but Singh gets the rebound.
If once we are seeing the ballers are not really dominant on the ball, on the ball, leading to McBride scoring another one. And McBride, if McBride can score in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a problem for the ballers.
And another steal by the ballers. And there's a serious injury there. It might be head injury as well. And the game is stopped immediately. Let's hope it's not anything too serious.
Yes, it's unfortunate here where the players playing hard defense, and Singh seems to be the one who get the worst out of that contact. He and Brooks or Panfe.
Well, I wouldn't want to say the good thing, but the blessing tonight is that we have so many students from the American Canadian School of Medicine here with us tonight, is that we are not short of any medical officials.
Yes, Gavin, indeed. But what has happened here, Gavin, with the officials calling for a stoppage, that means that the two players who were on the ground have to be removed from the game, and they can subsequently re-enter. And for the ballers team, they may feel like that is a disadvantage to them.
It's a bit, the Pacers too might probably feel a bit unfortunate there as well, because it's not like there's any medical attention, applied to the players on the court. But the rules are the rules.
I think that they were treated in a very quick manner. I don't think they stayed on the ground for 15 seconds.
No. So I think they will check back in at the next available opportunity. You can see they're on the sidelines. And you can just see that Brunette is really lacking confidence tonight. Game 3 or game 2 or even game 1, he will have probably put up a shot on that occasion.
Yeah, and but we had players on the court still when the ball was inbounded, so referee Nichols had to, have that game restarted. Yeah, Rudet has not looked good tonight, Gavin. Credit to Rudet, he's a good player. It's just that he's having a bad night, and that happens now and then with players.
Well, there's a full court press being applied by the West Coast by the Posse Pacers. Is there a reaching foul or is there a jump ball? Looks like it's a reaching foul.
Looks like a foul. It looks like a foul on Singh, striking the player across his hand. What Sheldon did there, Gavin, was he protected the ball. That's like a Gavin Richards play.
Yeah.
Protected the ball and showing you make your body larger. It's critical moments in the game, Gavin. 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go. And it's a 12-point game.
It's still within reach. It's still within reach. Lots of time to go. Lots of contact there. Referee say go on.
What we are seeing is a press defense by the Pacers, forcing the ballers to really, play different offense.
And it still works into their favor because the half-court game of the West Coast Ballers is not really their strongest, but Tony Lee has just proven me wrong.
Yeah, Panfe, I don't think Panfe has the ability to stop Tony once he's that deep in the under the rim. And once Tony can get it wrong and get his body square to the basket, I don't think that anyone can stop him. Even if Dyer was there, he would have shoot over Dyer.
Well, it looks like he's fouled out of this contest. But what I was thinking, Dyer should be in the game at this point in time.
But I think the pace at which the Pacers play, and I don't think that Dyer mesh with the offense, because what they're doing is that they have a lot of players who play multiple positions. But with Dyer, he basically plays the center of the court.
3-point, big, crucial points. As the time is running out for the Posse Pacers. We have a stoppage here. The clock seems to...
Still 4 minutes and 14 seconds, Gavin. I believe more time has already gone on that clock, but the clock seems to have been stuck. And I don't think for the Ballers team, they'll be happy if the clock not moving.
Not at all.
Well, I don't think there's any pressure on the Pacers team, Gavin. I mean, they're up 2-1 in the series. Although, trying to avoid a game 5 is something that you always want to do. But I think the pressure is on the Ballers and the Posse team, hoping that the Ballers can fumble a bit and give them opportunity to get back in that game.
And I think what also went against the Pacers, although some will argue and say, well, that's their fault, the time that their players arrived at the venue. But the fact that some of their key players came a bit late, so they were basically starting the game sort of a minus.
Yeah, to play a 7 o'clock game, leaving as far as Portsmouth, about an hour drive. We know the difficulty. Yeah, Tony Lee getting a very good rebound on the interior.
So Vidal. Good ball movement, just trying to milk that clock. Tony Lee trying to establish himself down low. Lee backing up. Lee loses it. McBride comes away with it. And
Shot clock violation there, Gavin.
Shot clock violation, although the Pacers might say, well, they had possession, but...
Yeah. But what we saw the defense by McBride realized that, but Lee was playing for the contact. So McBride basically stepped back a bit. Lee lost his dribble, and they came up with that steal.
So here we go again. It's with Troy Brooks. McBride for 3. Bucket. Vidal trying to milk some time off the clock.
It's a 12-point game, Gavin. Ballers, they have to score that possession.
And it's a turnover and it's a chance. Here come Nigel George, and the lead is down to 10. It's a 10-point game with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left. Timeout on the floor from the West Coast Ballers. Guilty of sort of stagnating the offense.
What we are seeing is very good defense by the ballers in pressuring, by the Pacers team, pressuring the ballers.
But that was wild. Vidal just sort of shied away from the contact. Vidal is shot on the three, and here comes right. George is fouled. And what that means, more importantly, is that the clock has stopped and it's a chance for the Posse Pacers to get 2 points on the board.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time remaining, Gavin. It's 2 minutes and 41 seconds to go, and Nigel has an opportunity to bring this lead, this deficit to single digits, and this has not been in single digits since the first quarter.
I think since early in the third
quarter. Yeah, they did make the run, yeah. I think this looks like tired legs because his arms was the one. He was actually using more of his arms to try to score that free throw than using all his body.
Yeah, Nigel George has really put in a big shift here tonight. In and out on the second. Pressure defense there from the Posse Pacers.
Very well done by Harry.
Tony Lee leave the return. And I think Lee, yes, is guilty of traveling.
Yeah, I think that was a bad decision by both Harry and Lee, because the Casimir and Sharon was playing behind the three-point line, waiting for the ball to rotate back to them.
Here's McBride. Troy thought about the three. He'll drive in. George strong, and it's a single-digit game right now. West Coast ballers are under some tremendous pressure.
Yeah, Gavin, I believe if McBride had left that ball, it would have gone out, because there was no way Sharon would have pulled that ball in, because the ball was passed so close to the sideline. But what we're seeing is the pressure defense by the Pacers.
Well, it's really coming down to the wire. 9-point game. And there's a pushing foul on Singh.
What Singh has been playing very aggressive defense on Sharon. I think it's taking a toll on young Sharon, because Singh, he has a guy with sort of a big frame, and Sharon being aggressive, young, athletic player.
One is the fifth one on Singh. He's fouled out. And he has to be careful that he doesn't get a technical foul as well. Sort of taunting the players on the sideline. Vidal driving strong. Vidal is fouled.
Contact. Again, Gavin, Vidal driving to the rim. He's getting there, and just this one last moment to get this basketball into the rim and scoring that two has been one of the Achilles for him in terms of scoring.
Yeah, so this foul just might benefit the the Posse Pacers, because Vidal hasn't shot it well from the line for the entire game.
And it's an 8-point lead with just about a minute and 55 seconds to go.
Well, makes the first one. Crucial free throws there from Vidal.
And I think Vidal has answered the call. Every time that his team needed him, he has scored a crucial basket. He and Casimir.
And Vidal makes both. Big buckets there, brings the lead back up to 10. Nigel George. And George is really having a game.
What we saw for Nigel George is change of direction, Gavin.
Vidal. And that seems to be, is it a blocking foul? It looks like it will be.
It's blocking foul. I think UD John realized the contact was too much, and giving the ballers an opportunity to score on the free throw line. Again, the clock has stopped, Gavin.
But again, the Posse Pacers still might not mind that foul, because it still puts Vidal onto the line for two.
See Dyer being subbed out, Gavin, and Dyer is looking at Panfey, asking him why is he being subbed out.
I think in this point of the game, you would want Dyer in for your rebounding aspects. Vidal to the line. misses the first.
And the ball stayed on the rim for a moment there, Gavin. Vidal, looking at it, thinking that ball will actually fall in.
Didn't get the friendly home bounce. This is a big free throw for the West Coast Ballers. And Vidal makes it.
Yeah, Gavin, big moment comes for big players, and Sharon wants to be that big player at the end of the game.
So McBride, time is really running out for the Posse Pacers. Brooks thought about the three. George will take the three. That looks short. Ruda gets the rebound. Ruda is
a bit of contact on the forearm, Gavin. Although the player seems to have had the ball, but a bit of too much contact on the forearm. But again, Gavin, looking at the Ruda went for that ball, it seems like almost like he was taking a jumper within 4 or 5 feet from the rim, and he could have just simply get closer to the rim and try to score that basket.
I think that just boils down to the lack of confidence Rudet has had tonight. First, just about getting set for the other game tonight, Game 4. Dominators and Falcons.
Oh, that's a big rebound here for McBride for the Pacers.
Rudet thought about the three, passes to Brooks. George finds Rudet. Rudet. T. Pickens attempting that long pass and will get it. And Kazimi once again, Gary.
Very strong player, Kazimi, and Kazimi plays well with contact, Gavin. He's one of the players that the coach can rely on in the fourth quarter to close that game.
Rudet for three. In and out. And Tony Lee gets the rebound. It's Kazimi. Final minute here. Vidal misses the free throw and Vidal commits the careless foul.
Yeah, Vidal lost that ball on the up, Gavin. You could see he was trying to recover, but he losing that ball and committing that foul, trying to make up for the play that he just had.
So it's 84-76. We have a timeout.
No, it's bonus situation.
Bonus, yes.
And this is not what the ballers would have wanted to have the opportunity for the Pacers to really chip caught on that lead. And it's only an 8-point lead, Gavin, 51 seconds to go.
That's why I said it was a careless foul from Vidal. Well, the referees are having a bit of a conference there.
I'm not sure. I could hear Coach Curlin asking who's the technical foul is on, Gavin, and a technical right now will not be what the ballers would have wanted.
So they're having a bit of a conference. UD John, Harold Julian, and of course Austin.
Remember, Gavin, Sharon had an opportunity to score an easy two at the basket, but he missed it. So if it is a technical foul plus a free throw, two free throw, you have a 3-point swing if the players can actually score it.
And all of that with the clock stopped.
Yeah, it's still a lot of time to go.
So let's find out as the officials have gone to the scorer's table.
I think this is the longest 52 seconds for the Ballers team because the rotation that they have on the court, they have been playing for very hard minutes, long minutes, Gavin. And Coach Cullen has not really tinker with this lineup.
And I think that's what she should have been doing for a long while. Like I said at the start, when it comes down to the finals, playoffs, business end of basketball, you want to get your rotations as small as possible. Sort of an 8-man, possibly 9-man rotation. Guys have to understand that it's okay to sit on the bench. It's not about playing all the time. And you have to put the team before.
Yes, Gavin, and that's what we're hoping to see, that players from both ends can really keep the discipline and support the players on the court. And what we have is not an individual team, it's a team. It's players, normally 12 players on the team, maximum on the team, in terms of playing 12.
And it's very rare that you would find, at any professional level, that all 12 players might be utilized in a finals or even playoffs.
And especially for the Ballers, knowing that they're down 2-1, they would obviously want to really stick to a plan that can actually, use the better, I would say, more efficient players in the game and sort of forcing a game 5 And the ballers, knowing that they were the top team in the regular season, they have the confidence to really pull it off in the game 5.
So we still have a stoppage as the officials try to just sort out what seems to be the problem. I think might be a possibility of Right, so the officials are just trying to apparently sort out who should be the recipient of a technical foul. From what we've gathered is one of the players who fouled out might have said something to the officials and warranted a technical foul. But with him having fouled out, they're trying to wonder who it should go to. But I think you're quite right, Gary, that it should go to the bench. And this shouldn't be a long deliberation.
Yeah, because you can only get 6 personal fouls. I mean,
5, 6.
5.
Yes, 5.
I'm thinking
Yes.
NBA right now, Gavin.
Yes.
LeBron James playing for the Philly, the Sixers. I'm thinking about that. But it's 5. Sometimes you may get a foul. The player get foul, his last foul, and then subsequently you can get a technical foul while walking off the court. But it should be a technical foul on the bench, giving the ballers an opportunity to score 1, extending that lead to 9 points. It's a very long deliberation by the referees. I think it's critical. I mean, you have to make sure you get it right, Gavin.
Yeah, you have to get it right, but if it's a case of a player who's fouled out, to me it should be simple. Goes to the bench and we move on.
So it seems like they have settled it out. They have made a decision, and it seems to be the technical shot, free throw will be taken first before the foul shot will be taken.
Foul shot, yes. So that's a crucial technical foul because it's just an 8-point game with 50 seconds to go.
It's a lot of pressure on Harry right now, Gavin.
So basically poor discipline from the Posse Pacers.
Yeah, we see UD John still consulting with Panfe. It seems to be a situation where the bench seems to have not settled down, but we will focus on the game right now, Gavin. And it's been a dominant game by the ballers team. That's how we respond when you're down, Gavin.
Now we will have the free throw shot for the loose ball foul on the other end.
Yeah, what we saw, Gavin, is the captain leading from the front. And Kazemi in the third quarter, he took over the game. And leading to the fourth as well, Gavin. And his defense and his presence was key.
Now there seems to be confusion as they can't seem to remember who was fouled on the last occasion. The West Coast ballers are saying it's Troy Brooks.
It's not Nigel for sure.
The Posse Pacers are claiming it's Nigel George. But the most important party, which are the officials, seem to have lost the identity as to who was fouled.
It happens, Gavin, during a moment where a very long discussion, not relating to the play that you stopped the game for. And it will always happen. And what happened from now, Gavin, all players have to accept the decision from the referee.
Well, they consulted with the match commissioner, Donnie Robinson, as well. You want to get it right. Troy Brooks is adamant that he wasn't fouled. Nigel George is claiming that he was the one fouled.
And what the ballers want is that they want Troy Brooks to be on the line because since Nigel George has been scoring, Nigel George is feeling it, but Nigel George will be the one to take the free throw, Gavin.
So we've got it sorted out. After the long delay, 52.1 seconds. Misses the first.
And Gavin, there's a saying that when there's no complaint from the bench, that means the call was the right call.
They also say ball don't lie.
So we have 2 opportunities for something to change. Is he going to score the second one?
He misses move, but gets a rebound. Lots of contact there. Took a shot to the face.
So we have an official timeout here, Gavin, to check on the player.
The question is a foul going to be called, Or is it going to just be an official timeout?
It looks like an official timeout because looking at how the player reacted, he held his head. So normally when there is head injury, a potential head injury, the play automatically stops. The referee would look at it and determine the extent of it, and the game will continue.
Also wondering if, as well, if there's going to be a lit whistle. Let's see what's going to happen.
So now he realized that he going down, put his team at a disadvantage now. The clock was stopped.
But I think he's heading to the locker room because I think maybe there just might be maybe some blood or something.
So it seems like he will remain in the game. He'll remain in the game, Gavin. So
Pacers ball. Nigel George spins. George is fouled. And George heads to the line for two.
yeah, I think it was the right call. It was very, very early, but what happened? Tony wasn't in the right position. Tony was moving. And Nigel is the player, Gavin. You recognize it in the early part of the game where he has his Euro step and his stutter dribble and drive. So that caught Tony out of guard and creating that foul.
So a chance to cut into the lead of the scores. Or the clock stopped and gets the first free throw.
8-point lead, Gavin, for the ballers team.
It's down to 8 and 46 seconds, is it? Makes the second as well. No
That's
basket.
a violation. He jumped in. He jumped in before the basket could go for the rim, Gavin.
But the question is, was the call of the trail official?
Well, Gavin, we know that the official, it wasn't the responsibility, but a clear situation like that where he had to intervene, he did it.
Well, that's a careless turnover there from the West Coast Ballers. It seems like they're trying to find a way to allow the Posse Pacers back into this game.
Yeah, and they have the four guards actually at the half court or the offside of the court, and they did not pass the ball to them, trying to force the ball to Tony Lee.
McBride for the long three, goes in! It's a 5-point game, that's a big basket!
So huge
Over
shot
to
here by
Casimir.
McBride. And very smart foul call there because I think it was 85, Gavin, 37.1 to go. Which was a very smart foul by McBride, not using much from the clock.
I think the initial play would have been to try to get the steal in the backcourt. Once you didn't get that steal, as soon as the ball crossed, it was wise to foul to try to stop the clock.
So what we saw, Gavin, is that the ballers team, they're using one of the better dribblers to actually leak on the fast break. So Casimir was one of the players doing that.
And Casimir misses the first free throw. It's a 5-point game, ladies and gentlemen.
It's pressure moment here, Gavin. This free throw is critical to make it basically a 6-point lead. And
Casimir makes it. So it's a 2-possession game. We have a whistle. I think is it a timeout on the floor? No. So we're continuing. 2-possession game. Here come the West Coast Ballers. McBride thought about it. McBride is fouled. And this is very, very poor basketball from the West Coast Ballers.
I believe, Gavin, McBride was surprised he got fouled there because his expression, he was basically trying to recover the ball. The referee says it's a 2 points foul on the 2-pointer.
Is it shooting 2 or is it shooting 3?
So it's a confrontation there, shooting 2 points. Remember, not much time left was taken from the clock, Gavin, about 3 or 4 seconds. 32.
All right, so it's shooting 2.
Yes, Gavin.
McBride to the line. Misses the first.
He's got to make on this one, Gavin. Create more pressure for the ballers to execute. That's a very good call here by UD John. The ball did not strike the rim, but McBride already crossed the free throw line, Gavin. And knowing that there was no clear possession, he had to blow the whistle and give the ball to the ballers.
And I think that was just poor on the Posse Pacers as well, because there was no need for that yet. You could have simply made the free throw. And that's a foul on George.
Very smart. I mean, when you look at the fouling by the Pacers team, they're actually fouling. They're not using much of the clock. They're trying to get themselves back into the game. But once they are fouled, Gavin, they have to score the free throws to create more pressure on the ballers team.
So this is going to send Vidal to the line for 2 free throws.
Well, you know, Vidal has been struggling a bit from the line. And this is a very, very, very critical moment for him. If he can score 1 out of the 2 here, Gavin, I don't think that the Posse team will have an opportunity to really force an issue.
Yeah, this has been the longest 52 seconds of basketball all season.
But Gavin, this gives us the opportunity to really thank Detroit Tires Inc. for bringing this game live here this evening, and they have been doing a pretty good job and in terms of sponsorship, Gavin.
Vidal makes the first. 7-point game with 29 seconds to go. I've seen some big comebacks, but it is warming up to sing. Looks like we'll be back here on Saturday for Game 5.
And again, you see big moments, big players show up, Gavin.
Thought about the 3, misses. Jump ball.
21 seconds to go, Gavin.
So it's going to be Pacers basketball.
I think what the referee is asking for space, but what happens is that, Gavin, the player who's passing the ball can go backward because there's space for him to go back. So there's no need for the defender to really give all that space, Gavin.
Dyer looking to inbound. George, time is running out. They need to get something up. George has gone down.
Yeah,
Rudat for 3.
George seems to
It's gone, missed.
Seems to have gone down with cramps.
George
here.
seems to be battling some cramp. So Nigel George is battling some cramps. That just gives an idea as to how intense this game was tonight. Nigel George, a key player there for the Posse Pacers, and really battling a severe cramp right now in his legs. It's really painful, and we have a stoppage in play as he's on the court, and they're trying to give him some medical attention. Fortunately for him, tons of medical officials here, as we have students from the American Canadian School of Medicine.
Yeah, Gavin, as you can see, the advantage of having medical students here and also
Definitely.
sports division personnel, UD John, being around sports and knowing what to do is critical.
Well, he's trying to drink some water now, but I can guarantee you that that water is not going to do anything much right now.
Yeah. I think when you look at situation like Gavin, you see the critical need for having teams having persons who have the training in first aid, medics on the bench. That would be critical for moments like this.
Fortunately for him, the cramp seems to have run its course.
And services from good doctors, you know, good Samaritans, persons who know what to do.
Yes.
We're able to effectively render aid to the young man and getting him back on the court.
Well, the longest 52 seconds continues. We have another timeout on the floor.
8.6 seconds to go.
It's an 8-point game. And I think it's fair enough now to say that we will be back here on Saturday for a game 5 in this series.
Yes, Gavin, we're going to continue having more basketball. And I know the sponsor would be happy.
Oh, definitely. More money, more basketball.
So Detroit Star Inc. is bringing us this sponsorship, this coverage live. They're sponsoring. So far, we have seen 4 games, and we have seen very competitive games. And this would not have been brought to you without the kind compliments of Detroit Star Inc.
All right, so will the ballers be allowed to just inbound? And we call it a night? Yes, it looks so. So that's a night. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. 88-80, the final scores here. The West Coast Ballers, they've taken game 4. They've forced a 5th and decisive game 5.
Yes, Gavin, and the captain Kazimi said it best during his interview earlier this week, saying that they are playing for the moment and the game that they played and they lost, that he enjoyed it, and that's how basketball is played. And this evening he showed that basketball is played on both ends, and once you're focused, then your team will come out victorious. But it would have not been done without the services of Sharon Vidal. Sharon Vidal has been one of the key players on the Ballers team, and he showed focus, although he missed a couple layups and easy putbacks, but during this series he have been one of the more potent scorers, scoring over 20 points per game. And what we are going to see now is going back to the drawing board for the Posse. They have played well, although they fall apart in the third and the fourth quarter, but you saw that they have the ability to go on runs, they have the shooting. When Rudett is not scoring, McBride is scoring, Gavin.
Yes, so the Pacers will have to do some homework tonight. They really need to get Rudett more involved in game 5 if they're to have a chance. They also need to get off to a better start. They were off to a very slow start tonight, and it sort of forced the Pacers to play catch-up throughout the entire game. They almost managed to pull it off, but it wasn't enough in the end. So that's the scoreline here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with game 4 of the Premier League finals. It's the Falcons up against the Dominators, and we'll be right back. The Dr. Daru Pichler Sports Club Falcons looking to seal the deal tonight and win this year's National Basketball Championship, while the happy 767 Sports Club Dominators are looking to force a fifth and decisive Game 5. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Game 4 of the series between the Falcons and the Dominators. Falcons are leading 2-1. My name once again, Gavin Richards, being joined by Gary Benjamin. We'll bring you the exciting action here from the Massac Indoor Facility. Gary, good evening.
Yes, good evening, guys. Having Game 4, it's a critical game for the Dominators. We saw in Game 1 the Dr. Daru Pichler Falcons, pull it off with a late three-pointer by Edmond Williams. Game 2, the Dominators came in really strong and dominated the game, winning that game by a blowout. And Game 3, you saw the comeback by the Falcons team in the fourth quarter, after Dominators was really dominating that game. And we had some crucial points scored by Edmond Williams again during the fourth quarter. Gavin, it's a close finals.
It's a close finals indeed. And you're quite right. The Falcons pulling off an epic comeback, coming back from 15 down in the fourth quarter to pull out a victory in Game 3. And they'll be looking to seal the deal tonight. The big news for the Falcons, one of their key players, Yohani Regis, is back in the lineup. He missed Game 3 due to suspension. Can the Falcons pull it off, or will the Dominators force a Game 5?
Yes, Gavin, as this evening, if the Ramal Carbon and the Karim and the Edmond can show up, and Kewan Thomas can really bring it as a point guard and leading his troops from the front, I believe it's going to be a long night for the Dominators.
All right, the starting lineups for the Falcons: Daniel, Ramal Carbon, Kewan Thomas, Edmond Williams, and Yohani Regis as we're underway. While the Dominators, they have Abdul Sanderson, who's just scored the first basket, Jacob Barry, Shama Felicity, Andel Olivache, and Kelsey Guy.
Yes, Gavin, we saw that first basket by Sanderson, really pausing, having Karim over jumping.
Well, what I saw there, quite execute the way that they wanted to, but you could see there was an immediate attempt to try to get Karim Daniel established and going quick and early.
And if Abdul want to defend him that deep, I think it's going to be a very long night for Abdul. He needs to be a bit higher. The turnover happened, but the defense wasn't really structured for that stop.
Definitely. Swinging it across to Sanderson. Sanderson finds Felicity. A bit too hot to handle. There comes Kewan Thomas pushing the other way. Thomas drives, and Thomas finishes.
And Kewan Thomas is one of these players in open court, fast break opportunity. He will take the ball from coast to coast and execute it quite easily.
Loose ball, and Falcons will come away with it. Edmond Williams, who was looking to give a lead-off pass there to Yohani Regis, but bit of miscommunication.
Yeah, the idea was great, Gavin, but the position of the player, I think Edmond had to slow down a bit, just give Yohani the opportunity to get in position to collect that pass.
Shama Felicity. Hand off to Barry. Barry misses. Looks like his last off Yohani Regis.
But what's here, Gavin, was Kelsey Guy. Remember Kelsey Guy in the first 3 games? He have always positioned himself to get to the ball, whether it's on offense or on defense.
He sort of does the job of the handyman for the Dominators. He's not really one who's called upon to score, but he does all of the dirty work, you would say, the stuff that doesn't really show up in the box score.
Yeah, we see good defense by the Falcons team, Gavin, pushing Barry out.
Karim Daniel recovers the air ball to Ramal Carbon. Ooh, Carbon just slipped there. Might have handled the ball outside, but more importantly, almost looked like he might have re-injured himself.
An offensive foul call here by referee Murdoch, Gavin. And you see Yohani Regis. But the previous play, Gavin, I think Ramal Carbon lost his footing, giving Shamal Felicity the opportunity to really create a stop there.
And not only that, I think too that Ramal might have just slowed down just a bit to try to compose himself to go up for a dunk.
Yes, Gavin.
And that slowing down in pace just gave Shama an opportunity to come back. Regis. Oh, Karim Daniel. Daniel strong to the hole.
Gavin, that looked like a double dribble, Gavin. He catching that ball. and then holding the ball and dribbling it again.
But what things like this does for the Falcons, as that looks like it's short, but Kelsey Guy gets the rebound. Lots of contact, no foul. Kewan Thomas pushing the other way, has options. Hands over to Daniel, who throws it down.
And that's how you throw the ball down as a big man, not giving the defender any opportunity to stop that ball. Barry was closing in on Karim, but Karim used all his force and dunked that ball easily into the basket.
Sanderson lays it off, misses. Felicity. And there's a foul on the play. Now, Gary, what I think that the Dominators need to do defensively is they need to sort of get stops and create the fast break opportunities, because once the Falcons get set in their half-court defense, they are very difficult to break down. And we saw that in Game 3 when they were down by 15, but because the Dominators decided to slow down the game in that fourth quarter, it sort of gave the Falcons an opportunity to set that defense.
Yeah, that's quite right. And what we have seen from the Falcons is the patience. And they're playing championship basketball. They know how to win it, Gavin. They won it 2 years ago. And the Dominators team is a hungry team. They have been put together by Coach Maggie. And they have been playing a brand of basketball. I think a lot of persons will be proud of them.
Kewan Thomas beats two. Hands it over. Daniel is stripped going up. Pushes to Felicity. Set on that opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Summer Felicity is a player who gets over the rim, but this one was a bit too much for him. But the idea was good, Gavin. The attacking on the fast break opportunity, having the Falcons team play on the heels is key for the Dominators.
Karim Daniel misses the easy one, gets the offensive rebound, gets the putback.
Yeah, what we see is Karim's ability to continue attacking the rim, even if after he missed that basket.
Jacob Barry, the long ball. Missed there. Ramal Carbon in the rebound. Kewan Thomas breaking the other way. Hands over to Yawani Regis. Back to Thomas. Thomas drives. Tough shot.
Very good attempt by Abdul to tip that ball to Barry.
Oh, lots of contact down low. Yawani Regis was playing for the offensive foul, but I think he might have just been in the circle area there.
That's very good call by the referee, Gavin, and I clearly saw that Yawani wasn't in the proper position to get that call.
He's lucky that he wasn't called for the blocking foul. Another turnover. Here comes Jacob Barry. Lob opportunity to Shama, but he has ups, but not even he can get up that high.
Yes, Gavin. And we see the defense by the Dominators. They have been in position, creating the opportunity for steal.
Let's see if the Falcons can sort of get a defensive play in. Lots of contact there. I think it's going to be a late whistle. But there was a blocking foul. I think it might be an Abdul Sanderson.
Yeah, but the previous play, referee Augustus Julian may have had his whistle out of his mouth, and he was going to blow this, but the game was playing at a speed that he just let it play. But it's a very good call by referee Aigwabe. So we may have an opportunity for 2 free throws, Gavin.
Yes, 2. It's Bernard Lee. Yes, Bernard Lee, that's the first name.
You know, the name wasn't coming in. I grew up knowing him by his nickname. If I call you the name, I don't think you know what his name is. I normally know him as Bertie.
But there are lots of guys on the court that I generally know them by their nicknames as well. So
Yawani Regis is now stamping his mark on the game. He's scoring his first free throw, Gavin. He missed game 3, Gavin, as he said.
But Yawani Regis is generally a very good free throw shooter, as Karim Daniel and Abdul Sanderson had a little bit of tangling up there.
2 big men trying to box out each other and both fall to the floor, Gavin, but Karim seems to have get the worst out of that collision.
What I would like to see, though, Gary, is Jacob Barry to sort of impose his will on this game. He's been one of the leading scorers in the Premier League this season. As there's a strong contest there from Ramal Carbon, making it difficult for Kelsey Guy.
You see what happened there? Ramal pushed him further right, Gavin.
Karim Daniel, Edmund Williams, Daniel strong.
But Gavin, what you saw from Ramal Carbon was a player moving and Edmond Williams was on the base, and he created that opportunity for the pass to Karim.
And once Karim Daniel gets that steam moving down the center, it's very difficult to stop. Here's another drive from Thomas. Thomas sidesteps, and good stuff there from Kiwan Thomas.
Yeah, the Falcons team this evening, Gavin, is coming in for a different purpose. They're more aggressive on offense. They realize that they have started quite slow, and they want to really start the game at a pace that they can actually be in position to win. So we see a foul on Karim on the interior. It seems like that's a second foul on Karim.
All right, so just a quick look. First quarter there, 5 minutes left, and 14-6 in favor of the Falcons.
Gavin, what's crucial here for the Falcons team, Karim have just picked up his second foul, and it's early in the first quarter.
Well, that could be a big turning moment in his game, because Karim Daniel was really off to a good start.
Yeah, but what we have is JV Bellot being checked in very early this time around, Gavin.
But fortunately for the Falcons, they have a deeper bench this evening compared to game 3.
Yeah, we see Jacob Barry, forcing Ramal to tip that ball on the outside.
Referees are having a bit of a conference to decide whose possession it should be. Will be Dominators basketball. Barry finds Sanderson down low, and he's blocked from behind.
Kiwan playing some tough defense there. Kiwan being a guard, found himself in a position where he had to help because Yawani licked up.
But I think Sanderson had to go up with that shot attempt on that last opportunity there. Shama Felicity. Bit of miscommunication. Did he get a hand onto it? It might just have.
So the ball remaining with the Dominators, Gavin.
Barry thought about the 3. Barry stepped back. Oh, that's a big shot. Big tough shot from Jacob Barry.
Once Barry can sink his early baskets, Gavin, I think the confidence will rise for him because he has not had one of the better series. But the important thing is that he's leading this team.
JV Bellot was instrumental in that game 3 win for the Falcons.
I think JV rushed that shot, thinking that the defense would have collapsed on him. But Kelsey, being a very smart player, allowed him to just miss that basket with no defense on him.
Jacob Barry misses, pushing it forward to Yawani Regis. And Yawani Regis is chased down by Shama Felicity.
Very good block by Shama from behind.
Barry for 3, that looks off. Carbon comes away with the rebound.
So this one was way off by Barry. But the Falcons, Gavin, is on the run.
There's a foul. I think it might be on the ground, so that basket might not. Let's see what Bernard Lee is going to come up with.
Bernard Lee, the referee under the rim, has a lot of work to do, Gavin, because you see this game is very physical on interior, and the players are rotating hard. There are a lot of contacts, Gavin.
Side ball when we come back. We have a timeout on the floor. It's 14-10 in favor of the Falcons. Timeout. We'll be right back.
Ramal Kamat had an opportunity, second opportunity miss, and there we have the rebound by Jacob Barry. So we had a substitution here for the Dominators. Richard Joseph is in the game with Shama, Kelsey, Abdul, and Barry. And we see a foul by Edmond Williams here, and the rebound was collected by Richard. So we'll have an opportunity for Richard to shoot 2 free throws. The Dominators, they will feel like they would have been that team to be 2-1 up in the series, but they're now playing from behind. They're down by 4 points. It's early in the first quarter. See, free throws is one of the key components of the game, because once you're aggressive on interior and you foul, as a player, you have to execute. And you see Richard missing the first one. Richard scores on the second one. So he have cut the lead down to, the deficit down to 3 points. So we see a press, full cut here. A lot of contact here from Richard, but he got that steal. What's important here is that the Falcons team remain disciplined on defense. So a good pass on interior, broken up by the Falcons. Here we see a good steal here by Richard. Both teams playing quite hard. Kelsey realizing that the shot clock was running out. But Edwin Williams gave that ball back to the Dominators team. Turnover in that ball with no defense. I think he was looking for the player to pass that ball down, who was licking on fast break. I mean, we're seeing a sort of, not so really together game by both teams, having a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, I think maybe just a bit of a honeymoon period, maybe.
Or it's the pressure of the situation, Gavin.
Pressure,
because the
yes.
Falcons want to close it up. The Dominators want to extend it.
The Falcons had that big lead. They jumped out to a big start. But the Dominators have sort of pulled things back. It was a lot closer. We have a stoppage in play, but we can just quickly let you know that this game is brought to you for the of D-Treads Tires Inc. Good evening to D-Treads, the good folks down at D-Treads.
Down at the Kingfield Industrial site. Go down,
Yep.
get your tires, get your rims, get your supplies, accessories,
Yes.
cleaning materials.
For everything.
Yeah, aligning of the vehicle.
Alignment of tires, everything. I want to say also good evening to the CEO. The boss man is here for Vibian TV, Chad George.
It's good to see Chad George at a basketball game. I know he's an avid supporter of cricket.
He's also a big Arsenal fan.
Well, it seems to be a reunion of Arsenal fans here this evening. We'll take it.
I wonder who's his favorite basketball team locally and NBA-wise. I think we'll interview him at halftime and ask him this kind of questions.
Well, Gavin, the fact that he's at the finals tells you a lot about his support, and he and his company bring this game live is really key to us. But here we see a three-point attempt by Richard getting fouled by one of the players from Falcons.
Yeah, that was a careless foul there from JP. Cardinal thing in basketball is you never foul the jump shooter. And it was a late foul in that the ball was already gone, but there was a contact after the shot.
There's always this saying that the shooter have to complete his motion, Gavin.
Yes.
Here we see some repair job being done. The rim seems to have been shifted. Well, that's the pole, not the rim, the entire support structure.
So it will send Rashad to the line for 3 shots.
He has
A chance for him to tie up the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Dominators would feel that they were really playing from behind, but when you look at the scoreline, it's not reflecting that sort of dominance by the Falcons team. We have seen quite a bit of stoppage in this early first quarter. Very low scoring so far, 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go, and teams are just 11-14, only 25 points scored combined. Yeah,
and I think the stoppages are also hurting the Falcons team because they sort of based their game on run and gun, forced defensive errors, and look to play in transition.
I mean, it's a very quiet atmosphere. The crowd is appreciable. It's a very good crowd. Beside the horn, here we see, it seems like the Dominators as a fan club in the center of the stands, and the crowd, cheering for Richard scoring that first free throw.
Well, I can guarantee you that, as Rashad Biggs said, the second one, the Falcons supporters will want to close it out tonight. But the neutral supporters and also the supporters of the Dominators will be hoping for a Dominators victory tonight, so we can have a sort of showdown on Saturday night.
Yes, I mean, definitely, because looking at both divisions, they have played really good basketball, competitive. Although game 2 was a blowout, there have been 2 blowouts actually for both divisions.
So we just saw hasn't really found his groove yet in this encounter. Edmund Williams, Ramal Carbon, back to Thomas. Reggie's lovely sidestep, but misses the layup.
Again, Gavin, the Falcons players have been getting to the rim, but the rim has been the defender. And what they need to do is really to focus on scoring that basketball.
Jacob Barry marked by Thomas. Good steal there from Bellot. Ooh, but Jacob Barry with the recovery, and Barry strong to the rim, and Barry with the layup.
Yeah, this was going to be a highlight reel from Barry, but he made the wise decision and laying up that ball instead of dunking it.
Bellot back to Thomas. Thomas declined the screen from Ramal Carbon. Splits one defender. Carbon gets the loose ball. Carbon puts up the shot. Ooh, that's a good shot in the end.
Rainbow shot here by Ramal. Ramal have always had that mid-range, nice arcing shot, and he showed us that he has not lost it.
Sanderson with the response.
Sanderson fake to the left with the ball, but he went straight to the rim, scoring an easy layup there.
Edmund Williams hasn't really been involved in game 1.
Still here from Kiwan, stealing that ball from Barry.
Loose ball, Falcons basketball.
I mean, we're seeing that the defense here by the Dominators team, they're closing in on the big man Ramal. Once they get that ball there, we're seeing that the double team and forcing him to very difficult position trying to get that ball.
Williams couldn't hold on, but the ball is still alive.
I think Williams has been losing that ball consistently.
Thomas. Ooh, lovely stuff here. Rashad. And the Falcons recovered nicely defensively. But it's a wide open 3-point attempt. That makes it. Punishes them in the end.
And once Arundel get that corner free shooting going, Gavin, Arundel is a player that gained confidence from scoring. And a long one here attempted by Yowan at the end of the buzzer. And the Dominators have taken the lead by 4 points, 20-16.
So after the hot start from the Falcons, I think the last, 4 minutes there, so they were limited to just about 3 or 4 points. And they've allowed the Dominators to come back into the game. So 20-16 the scores at the end of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with second quarter action in a bit. quick turnaround, 2016 in favor of the Dominators. A quarter that you thought maybe the Falcons would have been walking away on top. But the Dominators did what they had to do towards the end. Gavin Richards again alongside Gary Benjamin.
Yes, Gavin, a very interesting substitution here. So start the second quarter. Karim is back in the game with 2 fouls.
Karim misses the easy one there. Also back, also into the game for the first time for the Falcons is Levi Barron and Kiefer Francis.
The shooting of Kiefer Francis should be critical for the Falcons in this evening.
Sanderson with the drive, wild there, but
G. Joseph, I think Joseph, G. Joseph.
yes, GG.
I'm not sure that's his actual name, but but he's one of these high over the rim players.
Giovanni, yes.
Giovanni, right.
Lovely, wild there from Karim Daniel.
Again, you could see that Sanderson was moving backwards, and that was a legal defensive position, Gavin.
Misses the 3-point opportunity there. That was a wide open shot. Should have really buried that. Francis misses. Barry's at his best, Gary.
But again, too, Gavin, I credit Barry for going after Karim because Karim has 2 fouls.
Yes. Smart basketball from Jacob Barry. Knew that it was always going to be a challenge for Karim Daniel.
But Karim have to play basketball. He have to play the basketball. He cannot think about the 2 fouls. If he's thinking about the 2 fouls, his impact in the game will not be as effective as we know Karim can play.
Definitely. I think we have a timeout on the floor.
Coach Yannick want to talk it over. So we'll be right back after the short break.
Timeout on the floor is done. Falcons basketball as they're looking to try to wrap up this series and pop the champagne tonight. Kiefer Francis. Karim Daniel. And Daniel with the bad pass. Dominated basketball.
Again, what you saw with that pass outside pass by Karim was that Richard's defense on K1 was key.
Jacob Barry, step back. Jacob Barry, that's a big shot from Jacob Barry.
You look in that shot, once that ball left his hand, you clearly see that it was going in.
And good defensive work there from Barry as well. Dominators pushing the other way. Barry looking for another one. Heat check. Oh, misses badly. Kewan Thomas, Ramal Carbon. Well, was maybe if Levi Barron was 10 years younger, he would have thought about going up for that one, Gary.
Yeah, I think Ramal probably thought that Karim was the one under the rim, but Levi was the one caught in. The Falcons have not found their offense. They have lost it a bit, but their defense has come in good for them.
Carbon, Francis, Karim Daniel down low. Daniel wild. He's looking for the foul, but I don't think there was much contact on that play, Gary.
And I think Karim realized that Abdul was closing in on to double team him, so he tried to get that ball as quickly up to the rim, but he was in no position, Gavin.
Rashad finds Giovanni. Back to Jacob Barry. Barry skips past the defender. Lovely pass to Barry to Giovanni. Francis, Levi Barron doesn't have the numbers, so he'll pull things back.
Good pass here by Ramal again. The Falcons players are not handling the passes well, Gavin.
Toss it up for Giovanni, but couldn't get it. Here comes Levi Barron. Francis, lovely sidestep there, gets past Sanderson and makes the layup.
And this is one of Kiefer Francis' go-to move on the break, and he did well, executed well.
You can see Giovanni Regis looking to check back in. Barry being marked by Levi Barron. Double team now. Finds the open man, gets the shot away. Air ball, but Barry with the recovery. Second chance opportunity, 2 points for the Dominators.
Gavin, you wanted to see Barry play a bit more offensive, and this even Barry is showing that his offensive game is still there.
Barry really having a strong start. Check to Levi Barron. Barron misses the jump on the baseline.
I believe the Falcons players have to settle a bit when they're actually trying to score the basket. They're rushing the shooting, and Barry is not having any of the misses but scoring on his own.
But I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jacob Barry attacking the paint. Jacob Barry 2 games ago would have settled for a 3-pointer on that attempt.
Well, if Jacob's height and his strength, I think that's easy basket for him.
Kareem Daniel gets the loose ball. Kareem Daniel is fouled, and the basket will count. Daniel will head to the line for a 3-point opportunity.
Here, Gavin, you see that Kareem is rushing the shot a bit. I think Kareem has position on the player, but what he's doing is that he's rushing too much. I think if he settles himself and he goes to the basket with better intentions, he will execute without much complaints.
So basically forcing the Dominators there to sort of get their act together. Kareem Daniel taking advantage of that loose ball opportunity. Fouled in the process.
Yeah. Young Kareem has been, one of the bright spots for the Falcons team. He's one of 2 players that have scored double figures for all 3 games. Kelsey guy being the order for the Dominators.
Well, Kareem Daniels really having an outstanding season, not just in the DABA, but he also took that form to the inter-schools games, where he recorded a tournament high 54 points in one game. I think it was against St. Vincent.
It's only the ceiling.
So really one to look out for in the future. It's a big 3-pointer again there from the Dominators.
Well, yeah, his defense could not stop that 3-pointer from Arundel Debo. And Arundel has already scored one from that particular position.
Oh, that's very good from Kareem Daniel. Did enough to avoid the contact, got the foul, and heads back to the line for another 3-point opportunity.
Yeah, the previous play when on offense by Kareem, that's what I wanted Kareem to do. Go to the rim with a bit more purpose. And there he actually went in thinking about scoring and also going through the contact. And once Kareem can do that this evening and the other players can support him, I believe that the Falcons team will be in a better position to raise the championship this evening.
Well, another time out on the floor. Dominators not liking what they're seeing. We'll be right back. The scores are 34 to 22. We'll be right back. So Kareem Daniel will head to the line, looking to complete the three-point play.
Falcons down by 12 points. It's early first half.
Misses, lovely tip from Jacob Barry. Dominators pushing the other way.
So the Dominicans have the Falcons defense scrambling. You can see that they
Attempted lob there for Giovanni. Giovanni Regis the other way, Kareem Daniel. And Daniel gets another two.
what we see is the aggression of Giovanni Regis leading to that basket for Kareem.
Rashad driving. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, but couldn't complete. Kaifa Francis. Oh, no, that was a good no-look pass, but it caught Levi Barrett off guard there. Levi Barrett was open at the basket, Gary.
Yeah, this was a good pass by the player, but Levi Barron was probably thinking the ball going to Kareem because the ball was on the left side. But we can credit Falcons, the players. They're actually looking for the players in this last 4 minutes.
So Levi Barron takes a seat. Kareem Daniel just doing enough defensively to force that miss, but Shamba Felicite gets the loose ball.
Yeah, on a defensive effort, Gavin, you could see Kareem backed away.
Giovanni with the bad pass.
Here.
And in the open court, Shama Felicite is one of the most explosive players that we have in Dominica's basketball. He's not going to miss. On the other end, some real fancy dribbling there from JV Bellot.
And what we have is one of the more efficient players in JV Bellot when it comes to the open court, one-on-one or one-on-two.
Rashad swings over to Shama Felicite. Felicite with the strong drive in. What's going on there because the lead is getting out of hand.
I think the defense on the right side of the court has to improve because the Dominators are attacking the right side.
Rims around the world by Giovanni Regis. Here comes the Dominators, Felicite. And a hard foul. Do you think it might be called unsportsmanlike, Gary?
I don't think so because what happened is that the foul was called at by the defender earlier, but the other defender in the Yawani thought that he's going to attempt a shot, so he was in his right mood to actually try to stop that basket from scoring because it could have been a continuation in his view.
Well, the officials are having a little bit of a discussion and they may look to upgrade this foul. Let's see what the signal is going to be. And Giovanni Regis is pleading his case, but let's see what Bernard Lee is going to signal. All right, so normal foul is called, but another timeout on the floor. Falcons have called for time. We'll be right back. Just a quick reminder, broadcast being brought to you for the kind compliments of D-Treads Tires Inc. We'll be right back. Shamar Felicite misses the first. Players will line up for the second attempt.
The free throw shooting, although they're up by 14 points, Gavin, but they have to score on the free throws. If they get into the line, they have to score it.
Well, if they took anything from game 3, they were up by as many as 15 and still ended up on the losing end. So they will surely know that the Falcons have that sort of comeback in them.
What we have seen is the defense by the Dominators. They changed the defense. What they were doing earlier, they were allowing the Falcons to cross the half, but they're pressuring from half court, even beyond half court, Gavin.
Over to Kareem Daniel, and Kareem Daniel playing on the perimeter is not what you want from the Falcons team. Stepped out of bounds will be Falcons basketball.
And Gavin, this is what you're speaking of. When Kareem plays that high, he's forced to pass the ball to a shorter player.
Yeah, I think Coach Yannick Regis has to do a better job of trying to get Kareem more established in the post. Whatever offensive play they come up with in the timeout there, Kareem Daniel at the perimeter is not a good fit. Anyhow you look.
But if you look at the lineup that Dominators have on the court, they don't have any true big man on the court. And this is the moment where Kareem can really dominate. So if Coach Yannick can look at that matchup that he have there, it's an advantage to Kareem. But we have young Christian and young KP Peters in the game.
Yes. I think what...
And this is two young promising players for the Dominators, Gavin. Played in the D1, played in the school
Well, the
leagues.
Falcons are querying the shot clock. But it doesn't look like the shot clock is going to be reset. So they're going to have to quickly get a shot off here. Francis with the step back. And just misses there. Pushing the other way. Daniel with the reject. That back to Rosso.
Yeah, I think Kelsey believing that his stagger drive would get Kareem out of position, but the young Olivache is a benefactor from Kelsey's drive.
Well, good that the Dominators were not phased by that. Kaifa Francis under pressure to get the ball across the half. Gary, 2-3 years ago, Kaifa Francis would have been one of the top scorers, one of the top players on the Falcons team, but we sort of seen his game just regress a little bit.
Yeah, and that happens with some players. And you see with that, it caused the emergence of young Kareem, but young Olivache is showing Kaifa that I'm now the key shooter for the National Basketball League, and he's scoring well.
Dominators running away things there. There's a reaching foul. Kareem Daniel hit the floor hard.
I think, Gavin, that's a very dangerous play by young Christian, because the player is driving in and he just walk across the player with no intention to actually play the ball.
Yeah, so really dangerous play in the end. Kareem Daniel head to the line for the 2. Looks like he's okay. Not too sure what the Dominators are protested at this point in time. Clear foul.
Well, Richard is on the floor, so apparently there may have been some contact by Kareem, because Kareem probably was upset that the foul was called.
Are indicating side ball.
It was a drive, it's a foul on the drive. So.
And Kareem Daniel, in my opinion, had already made his gather steps.
He did.
Francis gets the contact. And Francis will head to the line for 2.
I mean, you have to credit the Dominators defense. And they're playing very aggressive defense. They're letting the referee call it. They're playing to the whistle. But what the Falcons team is doing, that they are waiting the whistle. So there's a difference in terms of how they approach the game. And the Dominators knowing that a victory this evening will force a game 5. And they are playing for game 5.
Yeah, you can clearly see the Dominators, the hungry of the two teams tonight. And I'm not sure if the Falcons expected the Dominators to sort of lie down. If you know anything about Dunstan Maggie Peters, is that he doesn't quit.
And that is the habits that you have to instill in your players. You have to show that doesn't matter the situation. You have to make your players realize that you have confidence in them. Doesn't matter if they're down or if they're up. Kaifer missed on the first one here, Gavin. Kaifer normally is a very good free throw shooter.
Saying that Kaifer Francis' form has really dipped, and it's dipped dramatically. Another three goes down, and the Dominators is raining here at the Massac Indoor facility.
Yes, Gavin, the lineup on the court for the Dominators team. They have 4 3-point shooters here. If only Kelsey playing there, but I think they're relying on the spreading the court and allowing Kelsey to have that lane.
Francis drives. Oh, lovely finish there from Kaifer Francis.
And Gavin, this is one move that Kaifer has always been a master in, driving slowly to the rim, using his strength and his height. And there you could see he scored an easy one.
Over to Kelsey Guy. Quick three-pointer. That one is off. But the Dominators will come away with the offensive rebound. Oh, that should be a charge, and it is a charging foul.
It looked touched because Kaifer was sort of leaning for that call, Gavin. But we're looking at his foot position. He appeared to have been stable in terms of his footing. So give him the benefit of the doubt of getting there.
Remember, the referees only have one look at it.
Here we see the player may have gotten contact to his right knee. He's holding his right knee. Let's hope that he's okay, and it's nothing that Coach Maggie should worry about. But he's on the court with the magic spray, Gavin. You know what the magic spray
Oh,
does?
yes. The magic spray miraculously cures any injury that you have in Dominican sports.
Definitely.
But looks like it might be a bit more serious than we thought, as he's being carried.
I believe he may have got a knee to his thigh, and knowing the thigh muscle is one of the biggest muscles, and he getting some sort of contact to that area would limit his ability. But hopefully it's nothing to worry about. But the Falcons has a lot of work to do, Gavin. They're still down by 19 points, actually.
Well, I'm not too sure what exactly Kaifer Francis was thinking, and I'm not too sure what he was thinking on that occasion as well. It was a real wild, loose pass to begin with, and then a hard foul there on the other end.
And it seems like he have gotten away for a normal foul, Gavin. The referee signaled a normal foul on that, but it looked like he wasn't playing the ball. He actually was out of position. And then his reaction after the foul seems to be questionable, Gavin.
Almost like he was taunting the bench for the Dominators team.
And we have seen a very disciplined game by both teams throughout this series. Very, team playing, enjoying the game. Very long free from Sharma, Gavin.
Well, that was basically because the quarter was ended, the half has ended. It's a dominating half for the Dominators. They're leading 49-28, running away with this game as they look to force a fifth and decisive game 5. Gary, we'll take a quick break, half time, 10 minutes. We'll be right back.
Welcome back here to the Masakindo facility. We are here, game 4 of the best of 5 Premier League finals. The Falcons up 2-1, but the Dominators has been, dominating the first half of the game. They're leading right now by 19 points. So, Gavin, it's going to be a very interesting second half.
Very interesting second half. But if the Dominators have to take anything from game 3, is that to know that no lead is safe when it comes to the Dr. Darrell Christian Sports Club Falcons. And the Dominators have to look to close out this game.
And this is what the Dominators would want. If they're missing the basket, they would want to get the offensive rebound. And Kelsey extending the possession, giving Olivachi an opportunity to shoot and score a three-pointer, Gavin.
Well, you're not going to beat the Dominators when they're hitting the outside shots. And they've really been raining down the three-pointers tonight.
And here we see different players as the duty to guard Kiwan, and they're doing a very fantastic job getting the steal here, Shama Felicity. For the travel call here by referee Murdoch, Gavin.
Tough call there. The Dominators not really happy, but they have to play on. Kareem Daniel.
Kareem's ability to hang and his length, he just go between that double team easily and scoring over the top.
And that's really been one of the bright spots of the Falcons. Daniel. Kelsey Guy thought about it, put it back. Jacob Barry. Looking to drive in. Kelsey Guy. Lots of contact. Kareem Daniel gets out the loose ball to Edmund Williams. And Regis misses the easy layup.
And that has been the night for Falcons, Gavin.
And out of nowhere comes Jacob Barry flying in. So poor box out defense.
Jacob has been doing that rebounding during the entire series, Gavin. But what he has changed this evening is the scoring.
Giovanni Regis puts up a wild effort. Shama Felicity breaking forward, doesn't get the pass, gets it late.
What we see here is patience, Gavin, and that's the difference in terms of the offense for the Dominators.
Well, the Dominators really look to be running away this one tonight. It's a 26-point lead, Gary.
And we have seen it from the Dominators scoring. Once they start to score, Gavin, what their own intention is to score as much points as they can before their legs give up on them. And Coach Maggie has been doing that quite efficiently during this series.
I think too, what was also key for what really hampered the Dominators in their last game was the fact that a number of their players got into foul. Also gave the Falcons an opportunity to get back into the game.
Yeah, because we know that Abdul Sanderson is one of the key players when it comes to his defense. He's not the most mobile, but what he has done is because of his veteran nature, his knowledge of the game, he have always been that big body in the center.
So if a 26-point lead, looks like, Gary, we will be heading back here on Saturday for another doubleheader to decide the Premier League Championship and also the Division 1 Championship.
Gavin, you have 17 minutes to really determine whether that will happen. And Felicity is trying his best to extend on that lead, but he missed an easy one on the interior.
And it's really not going the way of the Falcons tonight. All of the 50-50 balls. They're being out-hustled by the Dominators.
Yeah, and that's not something that you would say about the Falcons team, out-hustled.
Kareem Daniel puts up the wild shot.
But here is Jacob Barry and Sanderson. Very patient-looking basketball by the Dominators, Gavin.
Kelsey Guy with his trademark jump shot from the top of the key.
And if you're looking at the NBA, you look at players like Paul Pierce and DeRozan and this sort of guys. Kelsey is one of these players that don't need the ball and can make his offense.
Dominators really dominating here tonight, running the Falcons out of the gym. Thomas for 3, that misses. Bellot gets the rebound, and Bellot gets the putback.
And you realize when Belot got that rebound, Gavin, he positioned himself in an area that he could see the ball. And here we see a turnover from the Dominators. I think Kelsey was in position for that pass, but he wasn't expecting the ball to come down to him.
A rare turnover for the Dominators as the Falcons back in possession, but full court defense there, press. And they've come away with the steal. Shama Felicity hands it over, looking for the return. And well, Dominators really running away with this game here. Sanderson.
And Sanderson is the one leading the steal and fast break.
Jacob Barry with the offensive rebound. Hands over to Sanderson. Swings across to Kelsey Guy. Patient basketball from the Dominators. Drives in. Misses the floater attempt.
We have not called Rommel name much this evening, Gavin. But what has happened is that the Dominators team, they are actually doing defense by committee. So it's not one-on-one matchups, double team, triple team.
And again, you can see the Falcons with the more energetic hands just getting a hand onto this one. Timeout on the floor. Falcons calling for time. The scores 60-33. Almost a 30-point game. We'll be right back.
The Falcons is going to resume the third quarter after a timeout. Edmund Williams, Karim Daniel, JV Belot, Kewan Thomas, and Ramal Carbon on offense.
Well, Gary, with the scoreline being 60-33, 27-point lead for the Dominators team. With just about 5 minutes left in the third quarter. I think right now it's about time that the Falcons look to sort of regroup and look for some positives to take into Game 5. Try to see if they can figure out some, offensive schemes that might probably work and that they can carry into Game 5. Because I don't think they're going to be able to come back from a deficit this large with this amount of time left in the game.
Previous game, Gavin, you were saying that the coach need to minimize the use of its bench players. But right now, I see it's an opportunity for the Falcons to really use the bench players to see what they can give them. Going to Game 5.
Shama Felicity and Felicity with the easy breakout. The lead's gone up to 29, ladies and gentlemen.
You're talking about players who would have done certain things with the ball, but Shama is one of the players. You never expect a layup from a fast break. You'd expect a dunk.
Kewan Thomas is fouled. He'll head to the line for 2. As Coach Yawani Regis is trying to see what sort of combinations he can put on the floor to sort of break this run from the Dominators.
I know you wanted to say Yannick Regis, Gavin, but the wise is Yawani is the player, Yannick is the coach. So, but it's okay, Gavin. We know that the Regis brothers are one of the dominant brothers in the basketball, because we have another Yolan. I think Yolan Regis is on the bench. So we have 3 brothers on the Falcons team.
As Kewan Thomas makes the first free throw.
I think what has happened with Kewan this evening is that the defense has been very aggressive, and the Dominators has been using different players, different dynamic, different size, and it has been working for them.
Makes the second.
Now we're seeing Sanderson playing point guard.
Oh, lovely patience there from Kelsey Guy.
Again, when you say signature moves, Kelsey has a number of them, and this is one of the more effective ones. Once you get the player in the air, under the rim, it's all about he and the rim, and he did well to score that basket.
So the Dominators continuing to pile on the pressure here out of the Masakino facility. Francis for three. And Bellot gets out the tip in.
And Bellot is one of these players, you might call him as a professional scorer. And once his hand is on that ball, he thinks about, on offense, he thinks about scoring that basket.
Oh, lots of contact there, but the referee says no foul. Kewan Thomas, Bellot. And Bellot gets the easy layup. And could this be the start of a run from the Falcons team?
The Dominators has to remain focused, stay with what was working for them, Gavin.
In and out there from Jacob Barry. Thought for a moment that one had gone in.
So the ball is going to the Falcons team here. I see referee signal, Falcons ball.
Dominators basketball, Kelsey Guy. Wide open jumper and punishes them.
Yeah, we're seeing that the Dominators are focused. You have not heard any argument from them. The calls or contact. They're playing for contact, and Gavin, they're focused on game 5.
A strong, aggressive drive there from Edmund Williams. Hasn't really been involved much offensively tonight, Gary.
Yeah, I think Edmund Williams, one of the leading scorers for the Falcons team. I think he averaging like 14 points in these playoffs. And this evening, I think the ball has not been his friend. He seems to have, slippery hands. But knowing the Edmund Williams that we have known, he'll bounce back, Gavin.
Yeah, I think yes, Kareem Daniel might be their main man in terms of probably being the top scorer. But the offense has to run through Kewan Thomas. And when Kewan Thomas is not really actively involved in the game, life sort of gets difficult for the Falcons team.
I believe the Falcons teams have to utilize more screens for Kewan. Screen early, get him open early to actually create that offense for them.
Jacob Barry, three-point attempt. Jacob Barry, front end of the rim. Edmund Williams at the rebound. There's Kewan Thomas pushing forward. Thomas for three, contested. Shama Felicite will come away with it.
Again here, Gavin, you see the patient basketball from the Dominators team.
Foul on the ground, so unless it's a bonus opportunity, it should be side ball.
Gavin, you were asking for the aggressive offensive player, Jacob Barry, and this evening what we have seen is that he's not much of the ball handler. And this is what we have been calling for. Get that ball out of his hand and let him be the focal point for the offense. And we are seeing a difference this evening.
Well, the referees have indicated that it's shooting 2, but the foul was miles away on the baseline. That should have been a foul on the ground.
He was dribbling the ball.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's a bonus situation, minutes to go.
Maybe it's a bonus situation.
And Barry has everything right this evening, Gavin. And he missing that free throw, you could see how much it meant to him that he wanted to score it. And doesn't matter the score, even if he's up by almost 30 points. He believed that he have to do everything right for his team to be victorious.
Jacob Barry to the line for the second. A bit strong on that attempt. Kaifa Francis with the rebound. Edmund Williams.
Here, Gavin, from the Falcons team.
A lovely movement from the Falcons.
And what we're seeing is JV Bellot has taken up the responsibility as being the scorer for the team.
Oh, wide open. Was Kelsey Guy as the Falcons defense has broke down there. Night for the Falcons.
Here we're seeing that the stoppage, the referee seems to be signaling to the clock.
Well, there are 2 minutes and 29 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 68-42.
It's a 26-point game.
Yeah, very comfortable margin for the happy 767 Sports Club Dominators.
I think that if the Falcons want to make a game out of it in the fourth quarter, they have to at least chip at least 8 points from that lead, giving them an opportunity to actually launch the fourth quarter.
And that will be a tall ask from the Falcons, because the way this game has played, the Dominators have really had their number on the offensive end.
Yeah, we see the referee calling a foul here on the right side, a foul away from the ball. Seems to be a player fouling Kiefer Francis. Oh, it's Edmund Williams, the player foul. I think most of the players were wondering, Gavin, on who that foul was.
Nonetheless, it's Edmund Williams to the line for throws. Converts on the first.
I think Coach Yannick will have a lot to think about in terms of his offense being a bit more fluent. What the Dominators Coach Maggie has done is that he went back to the drawing board. I think that's one of his key words he normally uses. We'll be back. I'm going to go back to the drawing board. And he has shown this evening that losing the game doesn't put his team on the back foot.
Barry pushing forward. Felicity. Barry looking to dump it down to Sanderson. There's a foul on Kewan Thomas.
Offhand was on the back of him.
And well spotted by referee Douglas Murdoch.
Yeah, Gavin, what I like about Barry is passing. When he passes that ball gets to the player. He actually pushes the ball. So the player has to be ready to catch the ball. But the defender, at least, he's not giving the defender an opportunity to really recover.
Not at all. And Jacob Barry, just showing his experience, will have played at the college level at the United States. Driving, Felicity. Barry is stuffed by Ramal Carbon. Kiefer Francis comes away with the loose ball.
Gavin, knowing the key one up before, he catch the ball and he actually waited. That's not the key one that you know, but JV is continuing scoring, trying to score.
Well, the buckets are just not falling for the Kiefer Francis.
Yeah, Kelsey, I think Gavin, when Kelsey felt that contact, he decided to just drop to the ground and is laughing Kiefer because he got Kiefer on display. and we always say that the presence of veteran players really just show up, and what we're seeing from Kelsey and Abdul, yeah, they have made the younger players really play to a level of confidence.
Yeah, they've really made the difference tonight. Like I said, Kelsey Guy, you'll probably not see him amongst. There's a traveling violation. That dunk won't count. But Kelsey Guy, you won't see his contributions in the box score. But his impact on the game, priceless. Yohani Regis, Kewan Thomas, Williams. Lays it off to Carbon. Carbon is fouled. Carbon will head to the line for two.
And you could see that the defense from the Dominators team, and they're playing zone, sort of zone, Gavin, and they switch into man. And what they're doing, they're double teaming early. They're not waiting for the player to come to them. And that has created a bit of real difficulties for the Falcons team, knowing that they're a very strong team on the players on the inside.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's approaching 11 o'clock in Dominica and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. As the Ramal Carbon misses the first free throw attempt. It's a blowout here at the Massac Indoor facility.
Yes,
it's pretty much safe to say that we're going to be back here on Saturday evening for Game 5 in both series.
Yes, Gavin, I think the sponsor, Detroit Tire Inc., who's bringing this coverage here this evening, will be very happy knowing that the supporters, the players will be driving back to this venue, and there's a likelihood that the company may see a few persons coming down to the store and purchasing some tires or some refill, oil change and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I can guarantee you that. Oh, that's a sharp pass there from Jacob Barry, finding Celtic Guy unmarked under the rim. And you can see the frustration on the faces of the Falcons team.
Kelsey guy has been looking at the bottom of the rim, always waiting for a pass, Gavin.
Of Giovanni. Chelsea guy. Oh, and that's Littlest team.
Gavin, it's 72 to 46.
Bellot gets out the tough jumper.
And what I like about Bellot's game, Gavin, is Bellot plays a very disciplined basketball. He's not distracted by what is happening around him. What he's focused on is ensuring his team is in a position on offense.
Well, Jacob Barry is going to possibly hold for the last shot of the quarter. 10 seconds to go. Barry. And Barry loses it. And that's the end of the quarter. Lots of contact, but no foul. 72 to 48 is the scores at the end of 3. Dominators running away with things. And we're just 10 minutes away from a 5th and decisive Game 5. All right, so we're just about 10 minutes away from a 5th and decisive Game 5. Being down by over 20, close to 30, the Falcons. It'll take a miracle for them to come back in this 4th quarter. Swinging the ball across is a 3-second violation.
2 players guilty of that. Normally you find 1 player looking inside, but the young Giovanni.
Dumping it down low to Carbon. Carbon trying to muscle that one up, his foul. I believe it might be on Giovanni as well.
And what you saw there, Gavin, was you had the primary matchup of Sanderson versus Ramal, but what you had is Giovanni and Kelsey. The path to the basket more difficult for Ramal. So he'll be on the line to attempt free throw.
Rabon Carbon makes the first free throw.
I think the Falcons players just have to take this last 10 minutes, get themselves back. Just be confident about game 5.
Jacob Barry. One pass too many. Turnover for the Dominators. We can really see Kewan Thomas has been taken out of this game tonight, Gary.
Yeah, and this has been a very good strategy by the Dominators. So we see a contact here by Sanderson.
Jacob Barry misses the easy one. And here comes Bellot the other way. Tough jumper, but Bellot gets the benefit.
It's a little fall-away jumper from Bellot. Very effective scoring by young Bellot.
Big steal there from Edmund Williams. Bellot. Thomas for 3.
I don't think that he should have taken that shot, Gavin. I don't think he should have taken that shot.
Yeah, I think he should have looked to probably drive in or something.
Yeah, because it has been working for Edmond driving to the rim, or JV, who has been scoring the mid-range.
Falcons have really struggled for offense this evening. And another 3-second violation for the Dominators.
Giovanni again.
That one is a bit close though, because I felt that the shooter was already in the act of shooting.
Yeah. Normally, as a referee, you would assess that and allow it to go.
Kewan Thomas Williams.
Good
lovely pass. Ramal Carbon gets the easy put in.
Is it too late, Gavin? Is it too late for the Falcons team to really mount a comeback?
Well, it's going to ask a lot from the Falcons if they're to come back from this deficit. A traveling violation.
Yeah, and it's a 19-point lead. Is that 19 we're seeing here, Gavin?
Well, I think we're going to have a timeout on the floor. The Dominators are how things are going. 72-53 is the scoreline in favor of the Dominators. But the Falcons on a bit of a run. We'll be right back. Time of a mini run. Can they pull off the impossible here at the Massakinda facility? 3-pointer from Edmund Williams. Kewan Thomas with the loose ball. Giovanni rages for 3. He misses. There's a Kelsey guy breaking the other way. Tough defense there from Kewan Thomas, but
yeah, I don't think Ramal saw Barry standing there, Gavin, because this was a very weak pass.
JV Bellot. Wild in the end there, Jacob Barry. She has Shama Felicity on the wings. Lovely pass to Shama. Lovely finish from Shama Felicity.
Misdirection, Gavin. He looked to the right, but he passed the ball to the left. And that was well done by Shama.
Good basketball from the Dominators that we've seen all night.
On on both ends, Gavin. You see the defense, they're playing the same way they're playing on offense, they're playing on defense, Gavin. They're after everything.
Yeah, bringing the intensity on both ends of the floor. And the dominators tonight. Carbon. Williams. Lay off to Carbon. Carbon is rejected, but there's a foul on the play.
Yeah, a bit of a contact here. It seems like because, Gavin, whenever you're in a restricted area and you're actually swinging your arms, the referee most likely will call contact because he believes that you're actually the one creating that contact. So benefit always goes to the offensive player.
Sends a Ramal Carbon to the line for 2 more. Falcons looking to try to make a late run. In and out on the first attempt.
Yeah, I was going to say that the clock is a friend of the Falcons team, and the line is supposed to be the friend because once the clock has stopped and they have the opportunity to score points, that is key for them, Gavin.
Free throws win matches, and the Falcons have struggled at the line. Misses the second, but he will get another opportunity, is it? Oh, well, the referees called a lane violation, went against the Falcons.
Yeah.
Felicity over to Sanderson. Oh, Jacob Barry. Barry with the tough shot. Comes up short. Falcons pushing the ball the other way.
I think Coach Yannick is asking his players to really attack the rim, but they're not doing what he's asking. But the offense is flowing through JV to Ramal Gavin, and that duo is working for them this evening.
Yeah, the good play there. Ramal Carbon capitalizing down low. We haven't seen Kareem Daniel for a while. Is he injured or something?
I know when he took the last fall, he was sort of holding his knees. So probably Yannick is making a smart decision in preserving him in case there's a game 5. But when you look at it, it's almost like he gave up on game 4.
It looks so. Let's just find out what's going on with Kareem Daniel.
Yeah, we see a stoppage here. It seems to be a foul.
Well, as we mentioned his name, here comes Kareem Daniel about to check into the game.
We are that close to the coach, so it looked like the coach is hearing what we're saying. So Kareem took about two falls on the court, and when he got up, he seems to be holding his knees. So I'm not sure.
Kareem has had a pretty good game tonight, but I still think that he needs to impose his will down low. Needs to sort of use his height advantage, his strength as well, and try to get that ball as deep as possible in the post.
Yeah. And right now we've seen his defensive hands in terms of good hands on interiors. Kareem is one of the players who catches that ball well, Gavin.
The Falcons trying to chip away Yawani Regis, and Yawani Regis with the finish. It's 74-57. Just over 5 minutes left in the game. Lots of contact down low. No foul, says the referees. Jacob Barry. Barry ran into a brick wall. That was Edmund Williams. Kareem Daniel to put back.
I think Gavin here, Sanderson was moving on the Kareem, and I think Kareem was right in complaining about the defensive position by Sanderson.
And just like that, Gary, the lead is down to 15.
4 minutes, just under 5 minutes to go, Gavin.
Can the Falcons make a late push, another break-in transition? And it's down to 13, Gary.
Well, with stops and plays like that, Gavin, I can see that the Falcons team can have the confidence to really chop down on that lead and make this a game.
All right, so the score is 74-61. We have a timeout on the floor, 4 minutes and 44 seconds to go. And the Falcons on a late run here. Falcons down by 13. Can we see a late push from the Falcons to pull a victory out of the jaws of defeat?
Gavin, we're seeing the 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go. It's a very long 4 minutes for the Dominators team.
Active hands from the Falcons team, but it'll still be Dominators basketball. Barry.
We're seeing that the defense of the Falcons team has changed. It's Young Henderson in the game. Very good hands by Young Henderson, but the ball fall back. Forcing a shot clock here, and the defense started with Young Henderson with his very good hands, tipping that ball from Barry.
But the Falcons are just chipping away at this lead. And collision there between Yawani Regis and Rashad. Rashad took the brunt of that one. But the foul is going against Yawani Regis.
He said he used the elbow to create contact, to create space for him. So a turnover by the Falcons team, Gavin, and again Richard is in the game being a disruptor.
Jacob Barry with it. Shama Felicity. Kelsey Guy out to Rashad. Swings it over to Felicity. Felicity for three. But the second chance opportunity falls the way the Dominators. Barry, a quick three. Money.
And Barry is playing to the game, and the moment is Barry's own, Gavin. From first quarter, Barry has been, looking to score, and even if his team has been on a sort of a dry run, he's still attacking the rim.
Williams misses. Williams up. Williams is fouled on the second attempt.
Yeah, we know Edmond Williams is one of the players that once he drives to the rim, and even if he misses, he normally collects his rebound. And I think in the WNB they have this name called Me Bongs.
Well, it sends Edmond Williams to the line.
Does the Falcons have enough left in the tank, Gavin, to make a final run and overcome the 16-point lead deficit, the 16-point deficit?
I think the time is against them, and I also think that the Dominators are playing much better basketball tonight compared to Game 3. And one of the key reasons for that collapse in Game 3 was because a number of their players were in foul trouble. That's not the case tonight, Gary.
Tonight we have the 3 players who were in foul trouble. Actually 4. Kelsey is one of the players. And all 4 is in the game right now with 3 minutes to go. But there we see a lane violation by the Dominators. I'm giving Edmond that opportunity to try to score to the free throw.
So Edmond Williams again to the line, a chance to just trim into that deficit. Misses. And a scramble, but the Falcons will come away for the loose ball. Williams is fouled again and will head back to the line for 2.
I think that was very smart from Edmond Williams, seeing Jacob Barry is very late in terms of his defense and driving to the rim, getting that contact and still trying to score that ball. About 10 feet away from the rim. But he have to score the free throws, Gavin. He have missed the both. Well, he had actually 3 opportunities in the last time at the line. So let's see if he can make good on this opportunity now.
Well, the Dominators have been a bit careless in terms of the fouls in this 4th quarter. But the Falcons have not been able to make them pay, as Williams misses his 3rd free throw in a row.
Well, the Dominators will accept that, the foul, and still the misses from the line. The Falcons have not reduced on that lead in the last minute.
And Williams gets the second one to rattle in.
It's a 15-point game, Gavin. Dominators have the ball. And I think this opportunity here, if they are to score, it's going to create more of a difficulty for the Falcons to come out of.
Felicity. Lots of contact, no foul. Williams now coming the other way. Spins. Wild shot. Daniel tries to get the rebound. What the referee is going to decide.
All remaining Falcons. Here we see Ramal is here for substitution.
Dominators basketball. Felicity. Strong to the rim is fouled.
Here we see the two Falcons players really, defending the rim strongly, but Felicity being one of the smarter players when it comes to driving the rim, getting that fall opportunity to score 2 free throws on the line, Gavin.
We can just see some bantering between Yawani Regis and Shama Felicity, but Shama just pointing to Yawani to score, which is the most important thing right now.
But again, Gavin, what we've seen from Shama this evening is that he's enjoying the game. I think game 3 seems to be sort of holding back on his emotions. But this evening, I'm not sure if his scoreline is making him feel that confident, but he's looking at a different player this evening.
Makes the second Shama Felicity. Time running out for the Falcons. Yawani Regis. And jump ball it is.
Yeah, we're seeing that Shama is falling back on defense, really taking up the challenge from Yawani. And getting a jump ball call.
The substitution as Ramal Carbon comes back into the game.
Gavin, I believe it has been a very fun finals. 4 games into the finals, best of 5. Sanderson with the steal, Gavin.
Oh, and Sanderson was caught there in the face and will be a foul on Yawani Regis.
I believe that because the ball was loose, Yawani went very hard to get a loose ball. But Yawani, every ball that he goes for, he's always going with everything. His body, everything is getting behind that steal.
2 minutes and 41 seconds to go. 78-62 is the scoreline. Dominators in front. Kelsey Guy. Guy is wrapped up by Karim Daniel.
Yeah. The fall by Karim, although it was from behind, I must commend him on the way he did that fall. He didn't really go for the player's head, Gavin. He went for the hands. He tried to stop that basket by all costs. And I think it's very disciplined by the young Karim.
Yes, so sending a Kelsey Guy to the line to earn it the hard way.
Kelsey has played a very good game so far, Gavin.
Guy makes the first free throw.
It's a 16-point game again, Gavin. I believe it's 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go. I don't think that the Falcons players will have it in them to really cut that lead and try to win the championship this evening. That champion have to go back on ice.
It looks so. So looks like we're really going to be coming back here on a Saturday. Game 5 in the Division 1 finals between the Posse Pacers and the West Coast Ballers. And then game 5 in this series between the Falcons and the Dominators. An amazing season will come down to the final game.
I think it's a fitting end to a very remarkable series by both divisions.
Barry with the bit of a wild pass. 2 minutes to go into the final 2 minutes. 80-64.
What we have seen this evening, Gavin, is that the Dominators' defense has not looked tired. They have been switching.
Ooh, that one is squatted back. And Shama Felicity is letting Yawani Regis have it.
and Shama is showing Yawani what it is, what a block look like, very clean.
And Barry will come away with the loose ball. Barry driving strong, wild misses. And here comes Yawani Regis now. Looking to find Ramal Carbon. Gets to Carbon. Carbon double teamed. Williams misses Kelsey Guy. And the Dominators are walking it out.
This was an opportunity for Barry to really stamp his authority on the conclusion of that game, but it was a poor pass by Arundel Debo, causing Falcons to get another possession to see if they can score a bit of points, make the score look kind of, like it was a game.
Well, 80-64 is the scoreline. A minute and 17 seconds left. Coach Ioane Regis has called for time. The Falcons using their final timeout. We'll be right back. (20 past 11) in Dominica and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. We are slowly approaching a Friday morning. But with a minute and 17 seconds left and the scoreline's 80-64, I can let you know, I can guarantee you that we're going to be back here on Saturday for a thrilling conclusion to the DABA season. Thinks about the three. Misses, but they've gotten the loose ball. Giovanni with a strong putback.
The Falcons players, they have the younger players in the game. Young Blanc and young Henderson.
Yeah, both coaches basically emptying the bench right now. I think we have an offensive foul.
I believe the young player realized that there was contact. A lot of contact on the drive. He uses to try to push the player off. But I think the referee should have let that play, Gavin, because the defensive player was very physical.
Yeah. Especially in the context of the game, and the game pretty much decided.
But it is the right call because he actually uses his forearm to push the player off because of the physical. Oh, it's a shooting foul.
Well, I thought it was an offensive foul at first, but looks like it was a reach-in, actually.
He pointed on the shooter. I guess he said foul against the offensive player. Sometimes, Gavin, the signals from the referee, based on our interpretation, sometimes we get it wrong.
Yes. Misses the first attempt. Misses the second as well. And at this point in time, are we going to see the Dominators sort of kill time? No, they're not. They're still gunning away. And now they'll come away with the offensive rebound, losing it out in the end. Possession for the Falcons, 26 seconds left.
And I'm not sure why Kiwan is still in the game for the Falcons. Risking an injury at this time would be something that might be crucial.
I'm not too sure as to why well, I thought it was a foul on the Dominators, but no, it's not. Loose ball foul there. Everyone is trying to just possibly get their name onto the score sheets at this point in time, Gary.
Yes, young Henderson, young Christian, both players are bench players on the opposing team. And having that opportunity to play in the game at the big finals like a Gavin is something significant for them. So if they can score a basket here, the crowd will obviously go wild based on these young players' abilities.
So we come down to the last 13 seconds, 13.5 to be exact. And you want to join us on Saturday for Game 5 in both series. One thing we'll be sure on Saturday is that we will have champions crowned in both divisions.
And you will get to see the coronation through the beautiful viewing and coverage from Vibrant TV.
Yes, Vibrant TV, and with the kind compliments of Detroit's Tire Inc.
So this partnership in collaboration with the DABA has brought to you some excited basketball, Gavin, and I think the viewers can really attest to that.
Giovanni should just hold on. No, they're not going to try to hold on. Like I said, they're going to try to get some points. No, they're actually going to just try it now. We'll see possession for the Falcons.
0.6 seconds to go.
That pretty much does it, as this desperation heap will go nowhere. End of the day, it's a comfortable win for the Dominators. Yeah, get it. They forced the fifth and decisive game 5. And let's quickly hear from Dunstan Maggie Peters, head coach of the Dominators team. And what a dominating performance from your squad tonight.
Well, that's what we expect. That's what the Dominators, that's what we do. You know, like I said, them games we lose, you see close games. You know what I mean? We can do that. We just make a faux pas last game and we come and fix that. We have no more mistakes to make.
What do you think was key for you guys tonight? Because you guys really had the Falcons under some tremendous pressure.
Yeah, well, basically that's what it is, pressure. Pressure. Right through, non-stop. We have enough personnel on the bench to come in, and the head of the snake is Q-Box. You know what I mean? We establish that. So once we make it difficult for him to get the ball, then that's it. Let somebody else, you know, beat us. He'll get it eventually, but by that time, they're wearing out. You know what I mean?
How do you back your confidence now into game 5? Basically, it's going to come down to a sprint to the finish as to who will become champions.
Yeah, but we're just going to do what we do tonight and what we did from game 2, game 3, game 4, but not game 3 in the fourth quarter. What we do tonight in the fourth quarter. Yeah.
All right, pretty good, pretty well said. Congratulations and all the best on game 5. Let's quickly hear from Yawani Regis, the coach of Yannick Regis. What's going on with me tonight? Yannick Regis, the coach of the Falcons team. A tough defeat tonight.
Yeah, tough loss, Gavin. We started not too bad. Some easy baskets. I think that affected us on defense, and they got some easy shots as well. So I think our offense is affecting our defense, and we can't allow that to happen. And just like game 2, we allowed them to get a big lead, and just had to climb out of that lead.
You've really been struggling to try to get Kewan Thomas involved offensively. What sort of adjustments do you think you can make for game 5?
Well, his outside shot isn't falling, and that really affecting us. We have to find a way for him to be impactful outside of the shooting. You know, he's an excellent player in the post. Maybe we should try and post him up a little bit. Something out of the box. We got to figure out. We got to think outside the box, and I have some homework to do when I go home. I think I'll be able to answer those questions very soon.
All right, Kareem Daniel, though, still had a pretty good game, but not as dominated as you like him to be.
Yeah, he got in foul trouble, and that affected his flow. He had a little nick up, a little head injury, but hopefully we can get him to full strength for game 5.
All right, well, what do you think you'll need to do, though, to overcome what you saw tonight and possibly win the championship come Saturday?
Well, back to the drawing board, Gavin. I have about 2 days to prepare for that. I think I do well under that type of pressure. So give me 24 hours. I'll answer those questions at the end of the 24 hours.
All right, 24 hours. Thank you very much, Yannick. All the best.
Thank you.
All right, Gary. So there we've seen it. End of game 4. A dominating performance from the Dominators. And we're going to be coming back here on Saturday for game 5.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this series, there was a high expectation that the Dominators would have come well this evening. They lost game 1, they came back strong in game 2. They lost game 3 and they came back strong. They come back strong this evening. So we're going to see 2 interesting finals, game 5 finals. The Division 1, we are seeing more of a close sort of matchup in terms of where to go. The Premier, we're seeing the Dominators have been doing quite well in having the Falcons really come from behind at most those times. But what we'll see on Friday is that 2 teams hungry for the championship, and well, 4 teams actually.
Yes.
Because Division 1 is also going to be featuring as a first matchup. So we'll be back here on Saturday. Hopefully we'll see an excited finals. All
right, so that's going to bring us to the end of the coverage tonight. See you back on Saturday as we're going to have the finals of the Division 1 and the Premier League. We'll see you on Saturday at 7 o'clock. Gavin Richards signing off on behalf of Gary Benjamin and also on behalf of Vibian TV and the sponsors, Detroit's Tires Inc.